All right, welcoming in all of our friends on the old Tubies, it's Ubies, and the TikTok. Welcome in, you guys. I am Charity, aka NiceComps, and I am just waiting for everybody here on the old tick of the talk to get on. So if you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, feel free to fast forward a little bit here until we get to the meat and potatoes of the situation. Okay, for lighting, all good. And yeah, so what are we doing today? We're photographing clothing. It's going to be a variety of stuff, which is exciting. Hey, honey, have you seen my strap for my glasses? Have you seen my strap for my glasses? That's always missing. Mary P, welcome in. You're the first one in today. Creekside's here. What is good, friend? And Amy Pep in Step. Oh, I like that. Tenacious is here. Hey, you guys. Welcome in. I'm very, very happy to see you. Welcome to the adventure that is photographing clothing. Hey, Bryant, good to see you. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask on the chat. I do have the chat window open. So no questions or bad questions. Anything about reselling is fair game. Anything outside of reselling, if I don't want to answer it all to say, I don't want to answer it. Joel, welcome in. And T-Zizzle 54321. You cannot say that name without a little attitude in with it. Thrifty. Hi, Vicky. Good to see you. Fresh Start is here. Tiffany K. Hello, hello. And Terry. All right, guys, let's get this party started here. Hey, Jess, when you get a chance, can you grab me a seltzer? I forgot to grab a water. And I get thirsty. You just noticed, huh? You noticed the hair? The juice is loose. I wanted to do something a little different, kind of Halloween-y. So I was like, you know what sounds fun? Green hair. We're going to rock the green hair situation. So that's what we're doing. We're rocking the green hair through Halloween. And I don't know, maybe after, you never know. Tenacious, you like it? I was looking at all my colors and I was just trying to decide like what I wanted to do. And I was like, I'm really feeling the green. I haven't done green in so long. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. I think it's fun. Like, I think it's so totally appropriate for this time of year too. It's like kind of zombie, kind of Beetlejuice, kind of, yeah, the juice. I can't say it. You say it. He says it so much better than me. So he never knows what color I'm going to do either. So I did my hair yesterday and then I walk in his office and I'm like, hey, and he's like, oh, green. He's like, I never know what wife's going to walk around. The color of money. Mary, you're speaking my language. Honestly, you can rock any bright color. Oh, thanks, Vicky. You know what I can't rock? Regular colors. I have had my hair blonde. Does not look good. I've done like dark browns. Does not look good. Like for some reason, like my body was meant to have the bright hair color, I guess. It makes me feel like me. So, okay, you guys, let's get this party started. So what are we going to be photographing today? We got kind of a variety. And we got a little bit of Y2K. We got a little bit of modern, a couple kind of random fire pieces. So I never know what we're going to photograph. Justin brings me in a box of clothes and whatever box ends up in here gets hung up and steamed. And then that's what I end up taking photographs of. So it's always a surprise. I never know what it's going to be. So that's exciting. Sweet Briar's here. What's going on? Thanks for the gift. I appreciate it, Sarah. How are you? Denise, welcome in. Okay, guys, let's do this. All right, let's start off with just a regular piece here. So this is a 2007 NBA Championship Finals, San Antonio Spurs. It is in really good condition. It's an Adidas, which Adidas is not something I normally pick up anymore because, oh, sorry, I got a little hair in my mouth. Oh, that's disgusting. Okay. Adidas is not something I pick up that often anymore. Just because it's become kind of like a Wally World or a Target brandy. So it's like, I kind of steer clear. So it's not something I get all the time. However, I don't really care what year or what brand this is. The fact that this is a 2007 is just money. That's right. It did have something weird on the corner here. I'm going to take a look here and see if this is a sticker or what is that? Oh yeah, just a little sticker residue. I bet that's sticker residue from a garage sale. So I'm just going to pick that off real quick here. So what is going on, you guys? Who's doing what? Are you guys photographing today? Nora, I'm feeling so much better today. I felt better yesterday, but I was still kind of like, my head was like super foggy. I'm sure you guys probably noticed when I was doing shipping yesterday. So I got off with you guys and I had all intentions of just having this like insane killer work day. And I think I was just still on the mend. So I did get some work done yesterday. I got about 15 things listed, I think. And then this morning I got all those cross listed, but my intentions were to do so much more yesterday. And like I said, I just didn't get an opportunity to, because I just had to lay down. It was so weird. You know how that is when you've been like SICK? It's like you're feeling better. You think you're better. You think everything's good. And then all of a sudden it's like, you're kind of like not totally better. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but it's like, that always happens to me where I'm like, oh man, everything feels great. And then I'll do something and I'm like, whoa, like hit like a ton of bricks. So I wound up laying back down yesterday. Watched a little Law and Order SVU, because that's one of my favorite shows, and just kind of chillaxed. So yeah, thank you, Vicky. I do. I actually feel like me again. Like I feel totally fine and regular. Tanisha says, I'm in the process of building your photo setup. Hey, if you need any advice or you're stuck anywhere, feel free to shoot me a message. It's not very difficult, but Jennifer's listening today. Mike's here. What's going on, Mike? It's been a little bit. Oh gosh, thanks. And you guys, seriously, if you weren't on yesterday, thank you so much for all of the amazing messages. I mean, you guys sent me some really sweet messages. I know. Mike says, what a slacker. Totally. You know what's so funny is at least I got stuff listed yesterday. Had I not felt good enough to even get stuff listed, I literally would have felt like that. Like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting my day. I'm wasting time. But anyway, all right. I think I got that all off there. I'll point a little ruler to it. I think it might just be a little tape residue, but I could spend, 100 hours trying to get it off. I'm going to do one last thing. Hey, little tip. I saw this on a random video for something totally different, but I thought it might work for this, and it does. So if you've got a shirt that has like a little bit of like crusties, like glue or something, I don't want to go through and Goo Gone this and wash it and all that. That's just way too much work, and time is money. But if you take a nail file, I know this is so crazy, but it actually works. I always forgot about it till I just saw it. So if you just take the nail file and you file, oh my gosh, it works every time. It's so ridiculous. I love these little like weird trick things. Like this, I wasn't even for like a reselling thing either. It was just how to get like sticker residue off stuff. So for things you didn't want to get wet. So this is so crazy. Yeah, look at that. Totally took that off. So grab yourself a cheapo nail file and keep that in here because that worked awesome. It's like totally gone. I love weird tricks like that. Are you making sales on Posh? Oh, Julia, Poshmark and I are having a conversation right now. So I have a fun story for everyone today. Kids, gather around the campfire as she tells the tale of the world's most ridiculous Poshmark buyer of all time. All right, and I will tell the story while I'm photographing. So I got my phone in square mode. Always make sure your phone's in square mode. And then also I'm going to mess with the exposure here to make sure the exposure looks good, because I don't want it to be like the wrong color of what it actually is. Let's get on our glasses so we can see. And then we're going to do, first thing I'm going to do is just a test photo just to see how it looks. Make sure it looks good. Make sure coloring looks right. I think I need to move my light. Can you guys still see with my light like that? Yeah, okay. So I just got to move that over just a little bit there. It was looking like a little dark there on the corner. All right. So I think that looks pretty gosh dang good. Now that spot where I nail fought. Oh, I think that's the shadow from the hanger. All right, let's try that again. I think I had my exposure up too high. This is why I always do like 2 or 3 test photos when I'm first getting started for the day, because I feel like my phone, it like almost needs to like be warmed up or something. I know that sounds crazy and weird, but it's like I have to find that sweet spot. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, so the Poshmark story. Here we go, kids. So if you guys remember yesterday, I was telling you that I have gotten nothing but 5-star reviews on Poshmark always. I've never even had someone message me and say, you know, this wasn't what I was expecting, or it's okay. Like I've literally had nothing but like outrageous, glowing Poshmark reviews. So I'd gotten to the point where I didn't really even read the reviews anymore. And I know that's just, you know, probably sounds pompous, which it might be a little bit. And so I just had gotten to the point where I wasn't really paying attention, but I saw the review, I popped in and I looked, and I see that this person has given me a 2-star review. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. So I went in to read it, and it said, shipping time could be faster. So this guy bought this shirt on October 6th. It was a Sunday. I shipped it with y'all on Monday morning. So literally less than 24 hours, this item shipped out, and it shipped to North Carolina. The address is literally where the hurricane was. It's still, with all of that being said, managed to get to this gentleman by Saturday. So shipped on Monday, still got to him on Saturday through a hurricane. Now, I don't know about how much faster you can get for shipping. So I was like, I'm going to message this guy because I have a feeling that he just doesn't realize that the shipping took a while because of that. So I sent him a message and I just said, I was really polite and nice in all these messages because I always am. I've been in customer service my whole life, and marketing and sales, and I owned a salon and all sorts of things. I've always been like in the public situation. So like, I understand how to talk to people, right? So I sent him a really nice message and just said, you know, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I had shipped this out on the morning after you ordered it. I don't know if you realized, but with the hurricane and everything, shipping times just got a little wonky. That's why it may have taken like a day or two longer to get there than what you were expecting. Here's a screenshot of all the tracking that it went through, because it did. It got stuck in North Carolina for like 3 days. Well, of course it did. I mean, it's a hurricane. So it had gotten stuck there, and I was like, all right, well, no big deal. Like, I'll send this message to this guy. He probably just doesn't realize. Like, most people would be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. I'm so sorry. I'll change my review. So he had sent that over. And then Poshmark, after I'd sent that, had sent me a little message, and I think I showed you guys that yesterday, that said, hey, due to, you guys probably all got this, due to the hurricanes and severe weather, there's been shipping issues. Here, I'll just show you what it looks like, because you guys probably all got this. If you didn't get this, look in your Poshmark messages, because everybody would have gotten one. So it was like a USPS weather delays notification. Okay, so after I had messaged him that, I sent him, then I said, oh, and I forgot to include the message I'd gotten from Poshmark as well. Just letting everybody know that shipping was delayed. So if you have any other packages coming, just know that it's probably going to be the same situation for a few days. And then I wrote, if you choose to change your rating, I'd really appreciate it. If you don't, I understand, but I hope you enjoy your item. Have a great day. Really nice. I think it was a very nice message. So I send this message out, and I am expecting that this guy is going to ignore me or potentially change his rating. So I get a notification. Guys, you cannot make this up. So I get a notification that's like, hey, so-and-so has updated your rating on Poshmark. And I was like, oh, thank goodness this guy changed this rating. I go over to look at the rating, and he has changed the rating from a 2-star to a 1-star. Excuse me? I sent you information about the fact that the hurricane was happening and that there was no mail, and you literally changed your 2-star to 1-star. Now, I had messaged Poshmark after the original rating. Yes, excuse me, exactly what Vicky's saying. I had spoke with Poshmark about that original rating. And of course, I got the generic, like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do anything about, ratings. These are the opinions of others, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, well, it wasn't his opinion. It literally is telling you he wrote that the reason that he gave me the 2-star was for shipping delays. So, I mean, does that really make sense to you? That's not his opinion. I literally shipped it in under 24 hours. Like the post office was closed, it opened and I shipped it. Like you can't get much faster than that. So I messaged Poshmark. I got the generic thing back. So after this happened, I messaged Poshmark again. I'm waiting on a response. We will see what happens. But I basically just said, like, okay, Poshmark, like, let's have a conversation. I get it. I get that these are people's opinions, but let's think about this. This gentleman literally changed this rating just to be mean. It wasn't that he changed it because his opinion changed or anything changed. He literally did it just to be like a mean and terrible human being. So is that an opinion or is that like he did it to like because he's upset? And then of course I got those other 2 reviews. I got the review on the pair of pants that are brand new with tags that smelled like the store that said they could be cleaner. And then I got a review saying that the woman was kind of happy with her sweater, but she would have known what material it was made out of, even though the tag literally said 100% polyester in the photo. So I messaged those other 2 people and just said, hey, the guy with the pants that were brand new, I was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I saw your review. I'm a little bit confused. Those were new with tags. Did you accidentally maybe get something else and switch the ratings? I mean, of course they didn't, but I'm trying to like throw the person a bone, right? And then on the other girl, I was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, in the photo, it did say that they were polyester. I'm sorry, this didn't meet your expectations. Um, you know, if you choose to change the rating now that you see that the material is in there, great. If not, I understand. Here's the thing, and here's a problem I'm having with Poshmark. And this is the problem I'm going to probably continue to have is now Poshmark is making more money. And my husband calls me an injustice warrior. So I literally, if something is unjust or someone's being taken advantage of, I cannot control myself until the problem gets fixed. And now I feel like everyone is being taken advantage of with this Poshmark situation. And here's what I mean by that. So Poshmark is making more money than they've ever made, right? Because they're getting a higher percentage. They're making money off the buyer and the seller and the whole transaction. So they're making more money. They're less willing to help with reviews. They're less willing to help with anything. And now because these customers are having to pay these buyer protection fees or whatever they're calling it, which is just a bunch of nonsense, because of that, the fact that the thought that they're not going to be more salty is pretty cray-cray, right? Of course, these people are going to have higher expectations. Of course, these people are going to be expecting the moon because, heck, they had to pay $227 more than they had to pay 2 weeks ago for the same kind of item. So that's where I'm at with Poshmark. I will continue to list there. It is a platform. I just look at Poshmark and I right now, like we weren't really friends before. And then we started getting a little friendly. We started hanging out. We had the same English class together. So we started like talking in class because we didn't really like anyone else around us. So we started hanging out a little bit. We weren't like having lunch together and we weren't like hanging out and doing each other's nails after school or anything, but we were like friendly in class. Well, now I'm still in English class with Poshmark, but I've moved my desk across the room. So Poshmark's over on the right-hand side of Mrs. Little's English class, and I'm over on the left side of Mrs. Little's English class, and I'm just over here giving Poshmark the side eye. Like, what are you doing, Poshmark? How's it going for you? How's things working out for you? And I get it. There's people having great experiences, and I've seen stuff online that's like, I love this new Poshmark model. It's working great. I just don't know who it's working for. And I'm wondering if those people have been paid money to say that. Because I just can't imagine that it's real. I don't know. That's just me. That's my opinion. Opinions are like armpits. Everyone has them and they generally stink. So, am I having sales? Not much. I would say it's down 60%, I would say. So on an average Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would usually ship out probably 6 Poshmark items, because Posh has never been a huge platform for me because I don't sell a lot of women's clothes, right? I do a lot of vintage Y2K, so eBay and Depop are kind of my jam. Now I would say I'm selling 1 to 2 items versus 5 to 6. So it's probably down 60%, I would say, for me. Coastal, thank you. Thanks for the hair. I got a 5-star rating on my last Poshmark order. Felix, keep it up. This is why I love eBay. Preach. Since they don't want to change it, then just remove it altogether. Yeah. Now, Nina, right. And that's the thing, is like, just remove it. And I get it. People can't see it. I understand that. It's just an injustice in my mind that it's happened, if that makes any sense. I don't know if anyone else is an injustice warrior, but like, I'm the person that will like stick up for the kid that's being pushed out on the playground. That is just who I am. I am the rescuer. I am the put a cloak on my back. That is who I am inside of me. I can't not be that. So like, when that's happened to me, I know it's happening to other people, and it just makes me annoyed, to say the least. Yeah, he did take it personal. It was a vintage 1990s impossible to find vintage camo button-up shirt. Beautiful. Amazing condition. The shirt was literally like beautiful. Yeah, Poshmark's willing to put up notices about the weather, but they're not willing to change ratings because of the weather, which is ridiculous. So I have noticed, what was that? I missed that, Golden. I've noticed in a Poshmark group on Facebook, other people getting complaints on postage. Yeah, I have heard that too. Yep, I saw that too. That's kind of what everyone's been thinking, I think. eBay and Mercari are way better for me. Yeah, me too, for sure. Depop and eBay is always for me. Is there a way to fix dog teeth marks and soles of Ugg boots? Probably not, Mary. I have sold shoes. I just sold a pair of LeBrons that had dog Edie's on the corner. You just got to knock the price off a little bit and let people know that it's there. They can, when they get it in the mail, they can choose to try to fill it in if they want or whatever. You just discount down. Thanks so much for the comments on the hair. I wanted to do green. I was inspired by Beetlejuice, right? Tenacious is an injustice warrior. Me and you, we're feeling that. Poshmark's always been user-friendly to me. Good. In fashion, I hope it stays like that. Yeah, let's all work together and boycott Poshmark as Poshmark laughs maniacally. This is what I imagine Poshmark is. Poshmark, do you guys remember the show Inspector Gadget? Inspector Gadget, that had like Pinky, or had a brain, and it was the little gadgety guy, the inspector dude. Okay, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, the nemesis in that was Dr. Claw, and he had that cat, Mad Cat, that he'd sit next to. He'd be like, "I'll get you next time, Gadget, next time." That is who I imagine Poshmark is right now. They're just like, "Oh yes, try to boycott me. Nothing will happen." Like, people are gonna still sell on there. So crazy. Oh, no use. Unfriendly. Fashion Wings, are you saying it's been unfriendly to you? I've been on Posh since April when my sales are growing well. So is stupid. That's true. Yeah. Common sense ain't so common anymore. Okay, guys, let's get going. So that was a little bit of a tangent, but that's how I'm feeling right now. And it's my truth. Okay. Next thing we've got here is an Houston Astros baseball club. This is from 2000. So super vintage. The graphics are actually still in pretty good condition for the age. It's an actual Hank Aaron originals. The tag on it is super faded. I might have to I think we're going to have to bust out old eyes to read that. But I am not seeing, let's see, what is that? No, that's nothing. I got where's my little water bottle? Where's my little spray? So sometimes the best thing you can use for stuff like this, where you just see like the tiniest little something, is just a little spray bottle of water. It's so much better than putting a bunch of chemicals on. So sometimes stuff in the wash, just like, it'll get caught, what am I trying to say? Detergent will get caught or whatnot. So sometimes I just kind of spray it and then I take a look at it and just see. Most of the time, this kind of stuff sells for me on Depop, and people over there literally don't care at all about the quality. It's kind of bananas, but this is in pretty good shape. Let's see, is that? No, that's just lint. Yeah, so it's in pretty good shape. I mean, this, I should fetch a pretty good price for this one, especially considering the size. I mean, this looks like probably, I mean, this has to be like a 3X, I think, or something close to that. I don't know. We'll have to look at the tag. These old care tags that are like that weird, I don't even know what kind of material it's called, but it's like this weird, like wrinkly paper, like crochet or like paper mache kind of tags. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but they like wrinkle up really hard and it's hard to see them. A lot of like the old made in the USA vintage stuff will have that on there. Yeah, this is actually in really good condition for its age. It's probably just been sitting in someone's closet for like a really long time. I would say this has got to be like a 3X. I mean, it goes all the way out to the sides here. It could be a 2, but I feel like it's a 3. So one of the things I do, if you haven't joined me before for one of these, is on the sleeve area here. One of my tricks is, of course, restriction, of course. One of my tricks on the sleeves is to kind of fold them in like that. If you do that, that way you can get your picture more square. Otherwise, if you put the arms out, by the time you take the picture, you're so far from the item trying to get everything in the photo. So I just fold it over and fold it back. Some people just do like the natural hang look, and that's fine too. I think, you know, there's a billion different ways to do this. So you just got to go by what you think is, you know, looks the best. So whatever you think looks good, other people will think looks good. And you will find the people that like the way you take photos, and they will be the people that buy from you. Yeah, this is really, I don't even, gosh, guys, I don't even see any pinholes in this, which is like pretty crazy considering this is a 24-year-old t-shirt. So that's pretty wild. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get a picture. Oh, it's back there. Here. Oh. Okay. I think we're going to need to change out. We're almost going to have to change out. When the PRIME days just happened, I went ahead and ordered some more of my lint roller things because they were on sale. It was like, I don't know, 30% off or something. I was like, oh yeah, baby. That's exactly what I want. Mama like 30% off. All right. So we're going to smooth out this back here. And then I'm going to kind of just do the same thing with the arms here. Just kind of turn them. And like I said, you can do natural hang and let the arms just hang there if you want. But I just like this look myself. So that's what I do. All right, we're going to get a picture of this back. And then, of course, the exposure on this is down to like -3. Whenever you do like dark color clothing, you want to make sure that your exposures are down to like either -3 or -7 are usually pretty good on black clothing. If you're finding you're taking pictures and they have like that gray color, that's why, is because your exposure is too high. Yes, and you are correct, Gracious. Poshmark was bought by a foreign company and their stocks took a dive all year. I will be honest, when this happened, I wasn't surprised because the way that companies work is fiscally each quarter they have to meet a quota. Their ROIs, which is like the returns on the investments that they've put out and the marketing that they put out, has to meet a certain percentage in order to keep the board happy. And if the board isn't happy, then measures get put into place. This was probably always going to happen. It was probably supposed to happen more like March time and not in fourth quarter. However, I think that it must have been pretty bad. And that's why they did this during the holiday season, is they had to meet the quotas for the end of the year. They had to, bank some more money. And I think that's probably what happened. Salvy's here. Yeah, Fashion Wings, I am in agreement with you. Hi, do you know how to hire help or a virtual assistant? Ty, no, but you let me know if you figure that out. And fashion isn't even their thing. It's wild. They bought with her. Yeah, I know. Q4, literally, I know. What a weird time for them to do that, right? But like I said, I am pretty much convinced it's because they had to. I just don't think that they had a choice. All right, I'm going to bust out old eyes here, and we're going to see if we can tell what this tag says. 100% cotton, machine wash. Yeah, that size, the size on it is just not readable. So these old paper tags like this, they're almost like a crepe paper, I think is what I want to call it. They get like this and it just becomes like impossible to see. So that's okay. I think it's a 3X. What I'll do, so this is what you do if you've got a shirt that doesn't have measurements, is I've created an album in my phone, and I'll just show you what this looks like. And this album has all the different measurement stuff for different like sizes. So I just created myself an album, and I just got these pictures offline. So it's got just like, you know, what is a men's sweater, women's shirt, all the different things. It also has the different styles of high heels because girls, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know anything about this kind of stuff. So I've got those in there, and they just help me to like be able to tell the size of things. So I just take the measurements on here and then I use them along with this. And then I put in the description, like sizes, measurements, size 3XL, but please pay attention to measurements. Tag is faded. So always do that again. Oh, gracious. I sourced today and discovered a new Y2K brand. Share with us what that is. Wait, what is this again? Creekside, rewind. What do you mean by that? M60, Miss 60 outerwear. Really nice comps and some pieces. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. That's totally new to me. Miss 60 outerwear. I'm going to go look at this so I can see what this looks like. Miss 60 outerwear Y2K. Is it like, are they still around or not around anymore? Miss 60. Oh, wow. Those are good comps. Interesting. Okay. So kind of like a lot of bomber jackets, it looks like. Wow. Yeah, that's good. Let me see if I can see what one of their labels look like. So here's one of the shirts here. Let's see if this person. So this is what it looks like. Oh no, that says Buckaroo jeans. That is not the same. Here we go. So this is what the label looks like, guys. It's got like a red label. Let's see if this one has a closer up. If they're smart, they would have taken a picture. There we go. Perfect. Oh yeah, this person rocks. Okay, take a look at that. So Miss 60. Is it gracious? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, it does have some great comps. It's like a $150, $160 a jacket. You got two coats. Use the M60 as well. Okay, fantastic. Oh, the app you just showed. So it's not an app. What I did, Creekside, was I just created an album in my phone that has all the different kinds of clothing in here and measurements. So it's got measurements of men's sweaters, men's shirts, women's crop tops, tank tops, skirts, shorts, all the different sizing of this. And I got this off of just a random website online, but their stuff was all really accurate. And it was a brand called Shelfies. So if you just go to shelfies.com, you could screenshot those. I wouldn't use these on the internet because this is someone's like trademarked stuff. It'll just help you. Oh my God, she just scared the crap out of me. Ah! 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 Oh my God! You just scared the crap out of me. I'm so glad I didn't pee. Woo! Woo! Oh my gosh, you guys, that literally look, my face like red. That scared the pee out of me. Woo! Honey, that was a good one. Okay, anyways, everyone's like, yeah, your husband's creeping. Everyone saw it. Oh my gosh, Grace is like, okay, I'm awake now. Me too. All right. So yeah. So I just went to this website and then I just screenshotted all their sizing because they had so many different kinds of clothing on there. And that's what I use as like my metric for stuff. But like I said, don't use those images in your listings because that's someone's copyrighted stuff. I just use it for my point of reference. Golden Girl, I missed it. Replay it, please. Oh, honey, don't worry. He will. Trust me. There will be another one of those. There will be so many of those. Like, that's a little something we do. That's just one of our little ridiculous home things we do. Is like the stand outside the bathroom door and wait for the person to open it and then be like, you guys, what do I always say? There's always time for fun. There's always time for fun. All right. Oh, I got to get a picture of this tag. And like I said, the size part is like completely worn, but that's okay. I'm going to get a picture of it anyways, just so people understand why I'm saying the tag is gone. Oh my goodness, Chloe says that was funny. Oh, yes, Jen, we went with green. I went with Beetlejuice. Oh, I said it. It's like part zombie, part Beetlejuice, part Oogie Boogie. Let's see if Oogie will do it. Oogie. Oogie Boogie. I've got Oogie Boogie on my front door. And whenever you yell or like someone comes to the front door, it lights up and it's like, whoa. And it's got these arms and it's like, whoa. I'm the Oogie Boogie man. Like, it's so, we had solicitors come by yesterday to sell us something. And literally they walk up to the door and where I'm sitting, I can see out the front. I can see people's shoes when they walk up. And the person walks up and it's like, no. And they're like, oh. I was like, gotcha. We're not interested. Oh, your hair is so thick maybe. It is very thick. Yeah, I take a lot of the old B vitamins. I had to be up at 2:30 for a flea market. Oh, my son a full Michael Myers in my doorway. Oh, I would freak out. You were hyper focused. That's not fair to do that. Right. Hey, honey, you totally interrupted my hyper focus. Oh, yeah. For the A to the H to the deer, absolutely. When I get in like hyper focus on something, everything around me goes away. I'm either all over the place or I'm like laser zoned. I literally didn't even see him. Was he there for a while? How long were you there? Were you there a while? Oh my gosh, I don't even know how long he is. Girlie 6'1", I scream so loud. Oh my gosh, honey, Green Thrifty, one of my friends here on TikTok said that she had to wake up at 2:30 in the morning for a flea market, and she woke up to her son standing in her doorway dressed in full Michael Myers gear. And he's 6'1". That's terrifying. Aaron says I'm the same way. Oh yeah, our brains work like this or like, it's like, I always think it's like spaghetti noodles. It's just like going all over the place. Okay. Next thing we got here. So this is a really cool piece. I don't believe it has a brand on it, but this is an example of something that I will pick up because of the aesthetic of it. This has nothing to do with the brand because this will probably sell on Depop. This is like, I mean, you can't get much more 90s aesthetic than this. So I have a feeling this will do pretty well over on the old Pop That's D here. Okay, let's get this hung up. And what I like to do with my stuff is I always put the hood up. Now, I haven't seen a lot of other people do this on their listings, but I like it because if I'm looking for hoodies, like if I'm looking for something with a hood, I want to be able to just scroll through and find things that have a hood. So for me, it seems like a logical thing, but I mean, we all do our own things, right? Speaking of sons, Green Thrifty, today is my son's birthday. Whew. Man, he's turned 29 today. And that means 29 years ago right now, I was literally like, please evacuate this 8-pound baby from my body. Or 11 pounds or 87 pounds. He was like 87 pounds. Oh my gosh, he was born with teeth. I was like, get out. Yeah, happy birthday to him. I know. I sent him. Do you guys want to see the birthday message I sent him earlier just for fun? So this is my birthday message to him earlier. This is just for fun. Happy birthday to my favorite human. That is you, Scoop, because it's your birthday. And I love you. And I hope you're having an amazing morning already. Because you deserve it. Because it's your birthday. I love you, sweetheart. Have a beautiful morning. And we'll talk a little bit later on today. He's gonna wake up to that and be like, oh my gosh, my mom is so wild. You're the best mom. Thanks, guys. Oh, I just love that kid, man. Yeah, he really actually was. You do not look like you have a 29-year-old son. Well, Golden Newt has made it into the Hall of Fame for greatest viewer on here. Thank you. Yeah, he literally was born with teeth. He was already teething when he was born. That boy was cooked. I was like, get out of here. He was not interested. All right. And it's so funny because even as an adult and a kid, he always does stuff on, we always call it Isaiah time. So Isaiah does stuff on Isaiah time. He does stuff when he's ready. He rode a bike when he was ready, not because anyone wanted to teach him. He walked when he was ready. He talked when he was ready. Everything was like his decision 100% of the time. Like that kid has always been very independent. All right, this is such a cool piece. I think that, like I said, I think we'll probably do pretty well on this. I am going to give it just a quick lint roll. It's always funny with these kind of things because I can't tell what is like little strings and what's kind of like hair. I think I need to get a new little thing here. All right. Ugh. It's so funny. Just when I think I'm at the end of these, there's always like 10 more. I love these. I love these lint rollers. I wish I could find one that worked this well, that wasn't disposable, where I could just take and like wipe it off. I wish I could find one of those, but I've tried a couple of them and I have not been successful yet finding one I liked. So I'm going to have to just keep trying, right? Because it'd be nice to use a kind that doesn't have to, I don't have to constantly be like taking the things off of. But all right, I think that looks pretty slick. Such a cool coat, right? Such a cool coat. I do have a 29-year-old. I'm not crying, you're crying. I know, right? This is the best live to listen to her. Oh, Coley, that's awesome. My oldest is the same way, says Jennifer. Yeah, I love it. I mean, he's always been very independent, but he's always been very stubborn, which is good. I mean, tough as a baby, great as a human, right? Like, all right. Or great as an adult, tough as a teenager. Okay. Got to get all of this in here. There's so many different like little caveats to this jacket. So I'm going to get as much as I can here and then take a look and see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to just crop this a little bit, I think. It's like the hardest, most interesting thing to try to get in a picture. All right. And I think I might actually fold these in too a little bit and get a picture because it's just, I don't know, it might be too wide. Like, I feel like that looks too wide on there. So let's try it. Yeah, I think this is going to be better. I think I can get like a little bit closer with it. I think that's better. Yeah, I think that looks better. Thanks for the likes, you guys. Oh, we made it over 2,000 likes already. That's exciting. Oh, and I just realized that button wasn't done. So we're going to do it again. One more time. All together. In the words of the Muppets, all together now. Manamana, na 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 na. Manamana, na 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 na. Manamana, na 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 na. Manamana, na 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 na. Manamana, na 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 na. Manamana, na 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 na. All right, we're gonna get the chest here. This is a very large coat too. This is literally 60. This is going to be 60 inches around, which is wild. I think that's the longest coat length I've had. That is pretty crazy. Okay. And then we're going to turn it around so people can see this cool hood. Super unique hood. Come back, hanger. Come back. Super unique hood because it's got this little like dingle hopper off the back. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but we're calling it a dingle hopper. How does that sound? All right. So we're gonna get a picture of the back here. And then I want people to see that this has this cool thing on the back. All right. And I don't think this has any tags or anything in it, or any like discerning marks or brands. The little things are leather. I mean, it's definitely quality. But I mean, it's probably was like handmade in another country. So there isn't like a tag or anything on it. I probably should get a picture of the inside too. I just kept on I mean, does it get much better than like the Muppets and Fraggle Rock? I mean, work years away, dancing's for another day. Let the music play. Down Fraggle Rock, work years away, dancing's for another day. Work years away. I'm go-go poppin' red. Down to Fraggle Rock, down to Fraggle Rock, down to Fraggle Rock. Ta-da! Oh my goodness, it can't stop. It never stops itself. I'm gonna have that stuck in my hair for days. Oh no. Oh, it's getting filtered. Denise, I love you too. I've been laughing at the last 10 minutes continuously. I'm just happy to feel like a person again. Man, when I was on with you guys yesterday, I literally was just like, my brain kept going, man, like I've been swimming in a fever for days. Like I said, I'm one of those people. If I get SICK, I get SICK. I don't get like a little bit. I get like a lot of it. It's either all or nothing. But I'm a Gemini, and that's just the way it is. What kind of coffee do you drink? I need some. Costco, of course, silly. Fresh grind Guatemalan blend with 2 teaspoons of monk fruit and unsweetened almond coconut nut pods and 4 drops of hazelnut flavoring that is all natural from actual hazelnuts that doesn't have any sugars in it, because this girl and sugar, we don't need to hang out. It's way too much. Are you marking in your notebook? Oh my gosh. I'm not. What am I doing? I knew it felt like, okay. Every time I went to get another item, I was like, God, it feels like I'm forgetting to do something. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. All right, so we got coat, we got the Astros, and we've got, what was that first thing? I don't even remember now. Oh, the Spurs. Dude, who was it that just saved me? Who was it that just saved me? Was that Gracious? Who was that? That is because I pushed so hard. And that is very true. And it's like totally the FIBRO situation too. It's like all or nothing. Thrifty. Thrifty. You just saved me from getting done with this and then being irritated that I forgot to write in my notebook. Thank you, Thrifty, for making my day. Oh my goodness. Thumbawamba, what is up? Thanks to the cauldron. Monk fruit is elite. Dude, I love monk fruit. We just get it from Costco and we get it in like the big like pack, and they always have them on sale. So we'll get like 2 or 3 of them at once and then just put them up in the cabinet. I'm not vegan. I just don't do like a whole lot of red meat. We did do steak last night because a lot of times after being SICK, I need like some iron and some stuff in my body. So we did have that last night. But normally for me, it's more like we just do like a little bit of chicken. I do a lot of like, I'm a big veggie girl. So definitely not vegan, but I'm definitely like a big veggie girl. Yeah. Your whole setup is off. I know. Nope, I have tears in my eyes. It wasn't me. Oh my gosh. Also numbers and pictures of the bag and number. I have been doing that. I can't stop laughing it up. Thumba, I am not. Okay. Growing up, my parents were like major hippies. Okay. There's hippies and then there's charities parents. My parents got married on a hilltop wearing matching red wedding dresses with little daisies all over it with daisy chains. And they had big canvas signs everywhere that had felt cutouts that said like love. And they, SMOK, the old with the minister. I mean, it was like a whole situation, right? So there is a reason why my name is Charity. And that is because it means love, baby. I was almost Windy City. We're not even from Chicago. Like, literally, my parents were like, And my dad still kind of is. My mom wasn't so much before she left the mortal coil. She kind of had gotten out of that, but she kind of still was. I mean, I think you have that kind of mentality. You're kind of always just kind of like that love, peace, friendship, like, I mean, that's the age that they were. Like, my mom was born in 52. So like when like the hippie movement and stuff came out, she was like that perfect age for that. And she just kind of carried that through. So anyways, long story short, I wasn't allowed to have sugar when I was a kid. So I had never even had sugar until I went like over to my grandma's house. So my grandma would sneak me a few things. She'd get me that cheese in a can that you're like, and you like squirt the cheese in it. It's like, and it's got like that bacon flavor. Oh, so good. So she'd sneak me that. She'd give me scratch tickets to scratch. And then she'd give me like little candies and treats. So that was the only like sugar I ever had in my entire life. And I don't know if because I didn't have it really when I was little, that it made it so I'm weird with it, but like it makes me weird. Like I'm already a kind of hyper person. And when I have like a ton of sugar, like I'll have like a brownie from time to time. I do like a good brownie. Or like maybe like a Twix once a year or something like that. I'm just not like a huge sweets person. And it makes my heart literally go like and go like wild and crazy. It's the same thing with me if I eat like double carbs. This is going to sound so weird. All right, guys, I'm spilling all the weird secrets. So if I eat double carbs, I'm like that too. And what I mean is like if I eat a burrito that has rice in it, it's like 2 carbs. It's like the glycemic index of the rice and then the glycemic index of the tortilla. Those two together, my heart will literally go donk donk and like donk donk and like it totally like tweaks out. And yes, I've had my glucoses and all that checked, and it's doesn't have anything to do with that. My levels and all that are really good. But same thing with like when I do like you guys hear me talk about like chicken sandwiches and stuff a lot. I try to do like the grilled ones because if I do the sandwiches that have the breading and then I also have the bread, it's like too much. Now I can do a chicken tender that's breaded, but you put it on a bread or you put it with other carbs and it's like my body just like freaks out. So yeah, so I don't have the dia, but I do have a thyroid issue. And when I talked to my endocrinologist, he said it was kind of a rarer thing. He'd only like had maybe like 20 patients over his whole career. He actually just retired. So he's, been doing it a long time. And he said that it's not like the most common thing. He said, but it can be common for people, or not common, but it can be a side effect for people that have like a thyroid disorder, which I do. And so I think that that's the situation. So I just don't do a lot of sugar. So we do a lot of monk fruit. I've learned how to cook with monk fruit. I've learned how to do all of that with monk fruit. And then growing up, of course, I didn't have any. A treat for me was my mom would take this one of those wooden honeycomb, like Winnie the Pooh, those sticks, and stick it in and give it to me. That was like a lollipop to me. So, I think maybe because I didn't have it when I was younger, it like makes me strange. I don't know. It makes my heart feel crazy. So weird, right? That's a weird one, right? Okay, the old, the old yeah. Who is the girl with the easy cheese? It's me. Dude, that easy cheese with the bacon flavoring is like so good. You don't even have to put it on anything. You don't need to put it on nothing. You're just like, it's like a little squirt, and you're just like, oh, it's like a little treat. Snap Dabble, what is up? Stevia, and I'm gonna take it or leave it on the stevia. It tends to alter the taste of things to me. Like there is a tiny bit of stevia in the protein powder that I drink when I do my smoothies every day. It's called Ritual Protein. And in that, I think there's a little tiny bit, but it's not much because it's always hard to really find those without the stevia in it because that's better for you, I guess, than sugar. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take it or leave it with that. But straight up, just straight monk fruit, that's the jam. That's the stuff I like for sure. Yeah, it's like an aftertaste, right? I don't know what it is, but it's like there's something after it that's like, that feels mysterious. So It is. It's cloudy. It's a cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Oh God, that sounds good. Ooh, doesn't that sound good? Like a nice bolognese with the good meatball and the little parmesan on there. Woo, guys! I'm telling you, it's how I keep my slim fig. All right, moving on to the next one. So this is a really super banger find. So this is a Grinch t-shirt. Obviously, we've got Max. Nobody can tell me that this isn't the most handsome little guy you've ever seen. I mean, look at him, right? So in the spirit of Grinch, hell yeah, I've got Grinch here too. So it's a whole theme. I thought that this was a newer shirt, and it is not. This is a 2000 t-shirt. So this is 24 years old, and this thing is fresh. Like, look at the graphics. They are literally crisp. So I don't know that this has ever been worn. Like, the tag is like, listen, I mean, it's literally like brand new. So, yeah, I think we'll probably do pretty well on this one. I just can't believe this is from, yeah, fabric made in the USA. I mean, so crazy. You just don't find shirts in this good a condition that are that old. At least, I mean, I do every once in a while, but it's pretty rare to find one that has this good of graphics. So usually when I see this kind of stuff for holiday stuff, this is what I think. Someone got this for their son or something for Christmas, and they were like, isn't it cute? And their son was like, oh, Mom, it's like 2000, and I'm so totally getting into like Ed Hardy, and this is like not affliction, and it's not cool, so I'm not even wearing it. Mom, so dumb. That's what I imagine is going on. I went on with this t-shirt. So the mom, you know, the kid didn't want to just get rid of it. So the kid probably stuck it in the back of the closet. And then when the kid left home, the mom cleaned out the closet because she was turning it into her like Pilates room or something. And then he came back for Christmas like last year, and she was like, Michael, you've got to get all of this stuff out of the garage. I've had your stuff in here forever, and it's got to go. And Michael was like, Mom, I don't want any of that. Like, I've got a 9-year-old now. Like, I don't need any of that stuff. Well, maybe Christopher would like it. Mom, my son is not interested in that old t-shirt. Just get rid of that stuff. So Maxine put this out at the garage sale. And I was like, hey, Maxine, how's it going? I don't know if that was her name, but worse can pretend it was. I'm like, hey, Maxine, she's like, I'm like, Maxine, how much you want for this? And she's like, 50 cents. And I'm like, Maxine, give me a high five, because you're about to make me like $30 on the internet because young Michael saved his shirt that he never wore that you bought back in the day when things were actually made of quality. So that's how that went down. I don't know that that's how that went down, but we can pretend, right? All right, so let's take a look at this photo here. See how that looks, see if the color looks good. Yeah, it looks a little funny there. I'm gonna lay that arm down. That just looked a little strained and staunchy to me. All right, let's take a look at this. I think that looks pretty good. However, how's that color look? Yeah, I think that looks pretty much spot on. So, and I am gonna get a picture up close too of the side. I've been doing this a lot with graphic t-shirts. Getting a picture of the side of it really helps for people to see that there isn't any cracking, or it helps them to see that there is cracking. Either way. All right, so let's get this top portion here. And I'm going to try to get like the label in this as much as I can, because I want people to like, obviously I want them to, you know, buy the item because they're getting extra exposures over and over. So I'm just trying to get as much of the design in there as I can. So yeah, this is in crazy condition. This is and it's an extra large, which is wonderful. All right, and I don't see anything wrong on the back either. Yeah, I don't think this has been worn. It even still has the crease on the side from like when it was like in the store and probably folded up. So I'm not seeing anything weird with this one. Try to complain about this one, Poshmark. Try to tell me this isn't in good condition, Poshmark. Whew. I love your stories. Groovy, I don't even realize I'm telling them. Sometimes it just keeps rolling and I don't even realize it's happened. Will the backstory go in the description? Snapdabble, of course, you know I love my keywords like Michael, Christopher, and Maxine. I mean, hello. Not this, yeah, Biggie. Not this shirt, Mom. Oh my gosh. I didn't want it the first time. And my son doesn't want it now. My son only wears vintage clothing. Well, isn't this vintage? No, Mom. He only buys vintage stuff on Depop from that NiceComps store. Oh my gosh. What I really want to have happen is I want Christopher to talk his dad, Michael, into buying this from me. And it was originally the dad's shirt. That would be funny. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's funny or mean, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it. All right. We're going to get a picture of all this here. Try to get my big old meaty finger out of there. Perfect. All right. And then folding this up. And we're going to actually put the measurements in, kids, in our book. Thrifty, you literally saved me. It's so funny because, like I said, every time I went to grab something else, I'm like, God, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm like, no, everything's fine. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Please put that story in with the shirt. Can you even imagine? I would run out of characters. There would be no characters available in the 1,000 characters to put any of the measurements. All we'd have is the story. So, somebody's reading it. I'm just like, oh my God, what insane person. I can't. What insane person. What insane person wrote on the story. Oh my God, make it stop. Make it stop. I can't stop it. Make it stop, honey. Make it stop. Oh my God. That literally killed me. It's a good thing I don't wear makeup because it would just be running down my face. All right. Oh, that internet. Full circle. Oh, you guys. Maxine's going to buy this again for her son as a gift for Christmas. Oh, that's the ultimate. She's on the internet. She's like, oh, wow. Michael used to have a shirt just like this and he loved it so much. I'm going to get one for Christopher. Oh, goodness. Oh, I can't, you guys. That's too much. That's 100% too much. All right, $11.55 is our shirt. Woo! $11.55. That is my favorite. That's going to remain my favorite shirt I've ever listed for my whole life because it's so funny. Woo! Oh, man, guys, my side hurts from laughing. Okay, what are our measurements on that? So our chest is 22, so 44 around. We've got, oh my goodness, we got 31 on the length, and then we've got shoulders of 22.5. I can't stop, you guys. I'm trying to be serious and failing miserably. Okay, next thing we've got, this is just like a super bread and butter. This is not something I normally would pick up, but I'm getting these things for like 50 cents or $1. So it's fine. Under Armour, I will say, does so well for me if it has this on here. So see where it says heat gear? Heat gear is the equivalency of like, you know how like you'll sell stuff because it'll say like dry fit or, you know, thermofit or it says something on it that adds to it. It's got, you know, UPF protection or something like that. That's what heat gear is for Under Armour. It just means that it's going to be moisture wicking. And so these sell really well for me just because someone is like, they had one at home, they lost it at a buddy's house or left it on the basketball court and they need another one. You don't make a ton of money off of them, but they're easy to list. There's tons of them online for sales. I can just go to Sell Similar, pop in my measurements, and it's just like an easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, so put this sucker up here. The only exception is I don't buy them if they already have like any runs or like a whole bunch of pilling, because a lot of people are getting these because their other one did that exact thing. So I'm not trying to buy it even for 50 cents. I'm like, it's not worth it. I'm just going to have someone complain about it, or it's going to sit in the store for you know, a million years. So, all right, let's get any of the goob doobities off. We don't want no goob doobities on the clothing. That's disgusting. We don't want someone else's hair on our clothing. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. All right, let's get a picture of that. See how that looks. Pretty gosh darn good. And now we're going to do little, I think I can do up and down measurements on this one actually, because it's like a good length for that. So tighten that up there. We're going to get a picture of the length here. And then we're going to get a picture of the arm. Perfect. Close that sucker up. Flip it and dip it, baby. All right, yeah, I don't see anything bad. Just a couple of goobers. We got some little hairs and things we don't want on there. We don't want on there because that's disgusting. So gross to have other people's DNA on the items. All right, get a picture of that. The tag. Moving right along. Oh, we got another restriction. You know what I think it is? I think TikTok just doesn't like my singing. You know what? I like my singing. My wife likes my singing. I'm a good person. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Right there, folks. Dropping that down. You ever run across Indian rock culture jeans? No, I have not. What are those? Is that a newer brand, older brand? I don't know what that is. Sofa Bond new here. What kind of board is that? How do the shirts stick? First of all, number one, welcome to being here. Number two, what kind of board is that? If you go over to the Tubies, it's Ubies, which is just NiceComps. There's a link indicator in the bio YOE. Click over there, and there's a 2-minute video on there on how I built this. Links, everything you need, everything you would ever need to know about that. And they stick because of the felt that I'm using, which I got from Hobby Lobby. I hope that answered your question. Older, the patch on the back is metal. I don't think I've ever seen those. Indian rock culture jeans. Whenever someone brings up a brand, I like to look it up just so I can have like a mental. I am a kinesthetic learner, which means I need to see it, smell it, touch it, feel it. So Indian rock culture jeans. Let's take a look here. And whoa, they've got some big comps. Like those comp nice. There's a pair for, it's kind of all over the place, isn't it? Oh, it's all over the place. No, I don't think I've ever seen those. They kind of have that, like, they definitely have that, like, MMA affliction kind of feel to them. Oh, yeah, there's some cool ones. Like little scullies on the back. No, but I will look up for that now. Interesting. Yeah. Isn't it cool when we find new brands too? It's like, that's one of my favorite things is I like try to remember it and see it. So that when I'm at a garage sale, I'm looking for it. Yeah, you're welcome, Sofamon. Yay, Annie, it's good to see you. God says I have one pair. Are they comfortable? What do they feel like? Are they like a low rise? They look like a Y2K. Are they actually Y2K or are they kind of like giving that Y2K vibe, but they're not actually Y2K? Let's see. And then usually these Under Armours will have another tag at the bottom down here, and they usually have a date on them. Yes. So this is a 2015. Why is that important? And here's why. And this goes mainly for men's clothing, although I don't think there's anything wrong with saying women's clothing as well for this rule. Guys, when they find a certain pair of pants or they find like a cut that they really like or a brand that they really like or a year or an era of clothing they really like, they're constantly looking for items from those years. Like my son actually is a perfect example of that. He likes to wear Dickies shorts, but he only likes them between a couple years and a couple years. Then they stopped making them the same way. And so he doesn't like the newer ones. So he's constantly looking for the older ones. I'm the same way with cuts of t-shirts. One of the reasons I like the Y2K t-shirts is because they have more of a feel to them. Like this is actually my son's clothing company, Coming Hot Clothing. And he has created this brand where these shirts actually have like that quality, square, old school look to them because he knows how many people are looking for that. And so if you are able to put the date in for items, I would highly, highly encourage you do that. Is everyone going to be looking for that? Absolutely not. But for those people that are, they're specifically looking for that. And if you have a date in there and somebody else doesn't, your item's going to get bought, right? I miss seeing you too, Annie. You're welcome. Guy says, I can't fit in them. They feel quality though. They look like quality. They look like, I wouldn't say like ultimate designer jeans, but they definitely look like good quality. They look like they're up there with like a kind of rock revival-ish situation, maybe. Yeah, that's amazing. Go him. Yeah, it's a whole line of flame resistant clothing. So they have got, this is just a basic t-shirt, but they have like all the different things that all the linemen have to wear for doing electrical stuff. But what they've done with what he's done with his company, because like his business partner is an actual lineman, he's been a journeyman for like 30 years. And so what they have done is a lot of the clothing that the linemen wear, it's not very aesthetically nice looking and it's not very practical or comfortable. Like their hoodies, they usually have to put their hoodies on and then they have to put hard hats over it. Well, the problem with that is it like muffles the sounds of things. And, you know, you're constantly fighting with your hat staying on and the hood, you know, hitting the top of the head. So they've created a hoodie that's actually made where the hood is larger. So it'll fit over, you know, the hat. And just different things like that. Vests with all these specific pockets for the exact tools that you would need for that kind of stuff. So I'm really proud of him. He has worked really, really, really hard on it. This has been in the making for a couple years now. And so he finally got his all his fabric design stuff back and they're ready to rock and roll. So I'm super proud of him. Yeah, that's great. I never realized how in demand that clothing is. Yeah, and the other thing is they're really hard on their clothing too. I mean, you got to think of it. These are those guys that are going out like, you know, post hurricane and post storms, and they're working on the lines and they're working with electricity, and so everything is very dangerous. So like they had to make it so like the thread is flame resistant. The inner lining of everything is flame, like everything has to meet these very specific expectations and they have to match these numbers, right? The cool thing about it though is that a lot of other companies that have made stuff, it's just so, because they put so much time into like these other companies that put so much time into just making sure everything is that meets the right expectations or the qualifications, they haven't really thought much about design. So all these guys are out there. I mean, we've got linemen right now in the South working on the stuff from hurricanes, and they're out there in clothing that's maybe not as comfortable as it could be or as practical or useful, have as many like utility you know, caveats as it could, because these other companies don't really care about that. They're just worried about meeting the expectations and meeting so they can like, you know, pass the OSHA or whatever test. So anyways, yeah, so I'm super proud of him. They've worked really, really hard on it. And my son is a massive perfectionist, like to the umpteenth time. I mean, this is the kid that literally has to have like his pictures on his wall all like metrically spaced. Everything's got to be like, and he's always been like that. And so it's cool that he's done this because he's put not only the time in, but like the down to like, he'll get a pattern back from his pattern maker and he's like, no, the stitch is a little off here or off there. So it's like when these people are going to be buying this stuff, it's going to literally be like flawless. So anyways, proud mom. I'm proud of him. It's pretty cool to see your kid, you know, succeeding and doing something he loves. So that's always a fun, awesome bonus mom moment. All right, so we got 19 on the chest. We've got our length is looks like 28. It's like 28 and a quarter, but we're gonna say 28 because I don't want someone to be like, this isn't 28 and 1/4. This is 28 and 1/8. I would like a 50% partial refund. And I'm gonna be like, nope, you ain't getting nothing. Oh, did we not do shoulders on that? Nope, we didn't do shoulders on that. All right, gotta do shoulders real quick. So, anyways, that's my son's speech. Thanks, you guys. Boy, I don't know where he gets that from. Gracious, you have learned the ways and know me too well at this point. Oh my goodness. The fact that you guys can call that already is hilarious. Like there's a reason why Justin and I are together because he's also a perfectionist, but he's also like, I mean, when we met, he had like moldy cheese in the fridge, St. Pauli's girl, and some moldy English muffins. I mean, he was not domesticated. So he's definitely got more particular over the years, but I would say I'm a fairly particular person. Like I like things the way I like them. I also though have like some interesting sensory stuff. And so things just give me like the warbly, we call it the scritchly. So I get like scritchly. I'm like, scritchy, 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 brain, not working, brain broke. Like I get like that about stuff. So I like things to be like kind of neat and tidy. So yeah, I mean, he probably gets that from me too. Which do you remember when Dickie suits were in style as urban wear? Yeah, absolutely, I do, 100%. And it's interesting because it went from being like more of like the like hip hop street aesthetic. It then migrated into like indie and punk culture, which was really interesting how it kind of flipped. Like I would say like in the I don't know what mid to late 90s, it kind of flipped and became more of like metal, hardcore, post hardcore, skate, indie, like all of those aesthetics. It's like it kind of like flipped and changed a little bit, which is really actually kind of interesting, like how a clothing brand could do that. Now you see stuff all intertwined. I mean, you see a guy wearing, you know, baggy Junko jeans with like a Western pearl snap button up. Two totally different aesthetics, but they definitely have kind of blended together, which is pretty cool. But do you in a practical, but you do in a practical and logical way. Well, I appreciate that. I'm taking that. I'm taking it for my own, and I appreciate that. Thanks for the likes, you guys. Thrifty, I see you. Okay, next thing we've got is something you guys know I pick these up every chance I can. This is a Y2K polo Ralph Lauren. This is a custom fit, so it's a little bit of an elevated one. It's in an XL, so it's a good size. And most importantly, it's got green. It's got the green pony. It's got red and it's got white. So not only is it like an all-American look, but Christmas. So I'm going to make sure I put holiday, Christmas colors, you know, holiday party, because it has that green in there and gives that kind of like holiday aesthetic. So I will definitely be putting that in there for sure. We're going to get our little lint roll guy here. Give him a quick little and a little. All right. Couple little hairs there, and there we go. Oh, he's looking all handsome and nice. All right, and then we're going to play around with our exposure a little bit because as we know, reds and all of that can look funky and coloring. So let's just put it at 0 and then take a look. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. And then definitely getting a close-up of the fact that this pony is green, because that way I can say that it's holiday and get away with it. Now, if this was summertime, I would be using, you know, 4th of July, Independence, American, All-American, American holiday. I'd be using a lot of those things. But since we're this time of year, I'm going to definitely go the Christmas angle because I have no plans on this sitting in my store for any extensive period of time. All right, let's get a picture of that back. And this one's actually in really good condition. I don't see any pinholes or any funky anything going on. That's always nice when you can just list something and it doesn't have like one pinhole, right side, 1/16 of an inch, and you have to like go through all of that. So do you put all those keywords in the description? I put what I can fit, Annie. So I'm always going to have the year if I can find it. But on this one, it'll be like Y2K. I'm going to have, you know, polo Ralph Lauren, striped, knit. This is also a custom fit. So I got to fit that in there. And then men's XL. And then whatever I can fit at the end. So if I can fit Christmas or holiday or something at that end, I will. I like to also put preppy or prep in these, but I could put that in the description. So I just kind of play around with it and I just kind of go with what I can fit. You know, you're going to get 80 characters. So it's like whatever I can get in there is what's going to go in there. Obviously, if you're putting it up on Grailed, it's less, but I just don't list that much stuff on Grailed. It has to be pretty special for me to list it on Grailed. It has to just be something that is a little harder to find or something along those lines, because I tend to find that that's what sells for me over there. And then I always look down here just to see. Sometimes you'll end up with a year, not usually. Yeah, this just has a regular machine wash tag as usual. Once in a great while, I'll come across these polos. All the new ones, of course, have the dates and everything in them, but the older ones, it's kind of a hit or miss. I feel like they must have started putting the dates in like around 2015. I would say 2015, 2016 is about when you start seeing the polos have like a date in there. Anything before that, it's just you're kind of guessing what the year was. But I just know from this label that this is a Y2K. So whenever you see any polo that looks like this, doesn't usually have that custom fit. But anytime you see it where it's got like the double back kind of beefy tag right there, and then it's got that look right there, that means it's a Y2K, 100%. All right, let's get this in a bag and moving right along. Tasha's like, yep, she does. Yeah, I try to get as much as I can. You know, there's different schools of thoughts. I feel like I was just watching another reseller recently say that they like to put only a few words up in the title. And I don't know. I guess that doesn't really make sense to me. I guess if you want people to like read things quickly, I suppose maybe that would be it. But it's like, I know how the search engine works, and search engines pull from 3 different places on all the selling platforms. They pull from the title, the description, and the item specifics. So it's like, it feels to me like you'd want to get as much of that out there as you can. But you know what? We all have different opinions and we all sell different amounts of stuff. So XL polo, and this was a custom fit. And I don't remember why I think it's the knit on them is a different weave, if I remember correctly. I feel like I looked that up once before, but who knows? I put it in there. Someone knows what they want if that's what they want. And then don't forget on these polos that the front and back will usually have 2 different lengths. So like if you look in this photo here, you'll see that the top ends here for the front, and then that's the back. So you want to make sure you put both of those in the description, because otherwise somebody's going to send you a message and be like, I thought this was a 27-inch shirt and it's actually only a 26-inch shirt in the front and it doesn't go past my belt buckle and I don't like it and I want to return. So it's like if I can stop people from returning things or any of that kind of stuff, then I always want to, be proactive about that. So I always put any shirts that have like the 2 different lengths, skirts, capris, anything where it feels like it's a different length, I'm writing it down. I say use the 80, as much information as possible. That's where I am too, Annie. I feel the same way. I like to put the size at the beginning or end, so easier for buyer to catch the part. Oh, interesting. Yes, Shani, good. So Shani, little tip on that. I do agree, of course, that having the size in there is important. However, if it's a name brand item, you really, really, really want to have that first, because how search engines pull from is, and this is doing this at a metrically insanely high speed, but it always starts from the beginning and it's going to work its way through. It's like, it's like scanning, right? So if you can get that name like Nike, Levi's, any of that and like the year towards the beginning, you're just going to get a little bit more traction. If you want to put the size after that, that's fine. I do mine a little bit differently. So I put the year and brand, the year, especially if I can find the year. And I know I do this differently than a lot of other resellers, so take it with a grain of salt. This is just how I do mine. Everyone's different. I like to put that year in there because that date stamps it. And that immediately puts in someone's mind what era that's from, and they can start imagining the look of that item from that year. Then I put the brand. Then I put like what it is. So like on this one, I'd have like Y2K, Ralph Lauren, polo, striped, red, white, green shirt, men's XL holiday. So that way it kind of reads like it would read if you were reading it. Like, hey girl, this is a 2010 Polo Ralph Lauren custom fit striped red, white, and green men's shirt, size XL, great for a holiday party. So if you think about, because our minds want to read things as we would say them, it just makes our brains feel comfortable, if that makes any sense. So whether you're putting that size at the beginning or in, just actually read that title out loud and ask yourself if it sounds like how someone would describe something or if it sounds like it's jumbled. Let me give you a jumbled version. Let's see if I can do this. Polo large men's striped shirt, green holiday red, white, right? You're taking like all the little bits and you're trying to put it together, but like that's not how someone speaks. So you want to write a sentence out. And what I did to get this, because it took me a really long time to understand this, Laura from Wild and Almost Free actually is the one that taught me this. So when you go to put your title out, actually say it out loud. So I was in my room in the beginning when I was doing this, and every time I would type something out, I would get to the end of it and then I would read it and ask myself, okay, does this sound like a statement? Does this sound like how someone would say it? If it doesn't sound like how someone would say it, then it's like, well, what do I need to change around so it sounds like that? I hope that makes sense. And hey, if it's working for you, don't change anything. This is just what I have learned and what has worked for me. So yeah, the speech thing. And Shani, I hadn't either. So like I said, Laura is the one that helped me figure that out. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, because my old listings, oh man, woo, you guys want to talk about old listings? Woo, I had some doozies. Men's cool skate shirt, gray, nice, excellent, large. What does that even mean? I sound like I was from like a different planet or something. Like I was like, Nanu, take me to your leader. Okay, next thing we've got here is a little Nike Just Do It. Now, this is not a vintage one. This is actually a reprint from an old marketing campaign. This is probably like a 2020 or something. Let's look. What year is this? 2018, yeah. So this is a redo. You can also tell by look at the quality of the material. Look at how see-through it is. Oh, why are things not like they used to be? But that's okay. We're going to sell it nonetheless. It's kind of a weird time of year to sell this, but that's all right. And this is kind of one of those things that someone will probably buy this and another item from me, like on Depop or something, because I've got free shipping. So they'll probably buy this and one other item. That way they're not paying, $5.99 shipping for just one little shirt like this. They're going to actually like get multiple items, which is great for me. And I like having stuff like this in my store that's just like quick, easy flips that someone adds into their cart, because I got it for 50 cents or something at a garage sale. So it's like no big deal to me if I got to do free shipping on something else. Let's see, it's got like, I can't tell if that writing has like something on it, or I'm just going to use my little spray bottle here. We're going to take a look. So Mork from Ork. That was my favorite show when I was a little kid. I still have my Mork from Ork suspenders, the rainbow suspenders. And I have the button, I think, that went on it somewhere, maybe. I don't know if I still have it, the little finger one. Yeah, I still have that, though, in my memory box. I used to love that. My mom said every time he would come on the screen and he'd be like, Nanu, take me to your leader. I would come and I'd be like, oh, it's him. I loved that. So what a man, too soon on that one. Hey, nurse, what's going on? Oh, yes. Mark, take me to your leader. Man, what a great show. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's just a little bit of like old stuff on the outside here. We're just going to get that off there. Perfect. I'm telling you guys, water is the greatest cleaner on the whole planet. We always get so fancy sometimes, and it's like all it needed was just a little bit of love. Just a little bit of love. So this is another example of a shirt that the front of it is a completely different color than the back, or not different color, a different length than the back. So we want to make sure that we're getting that in our photograph for sure. Now, because this is a Nike and it's name brand, I'm also going to try to get the tag in as many photos as I can, or something to reiterate it's Nike, because we've talked a little bit about this before, and so I don't want to bore you guys. If you're interested in hearing about exposures, feel free to comment, exposure, and I can go over it. If you're not interested in learning about exposures for marketing and why we do stuff like that, or maybe you already know because I already told you, that's totally fine too. I don't want to repeat stuff you guys already know if you already know it. All right, we're going to get this stuff off the back here and shake that out. Nice little lay. It's a nice little Nike shirt. It's actually in really good condition. Very, very, very lightly worn for sure. Getting ready for picks and listing. Nurse, good morning. Your nurse probably worked until like 5 o'clock or something. I'd watch that series all over again and again. I know, me too. That is one I wouldn't mind like watching through again. I like watching the same shows. It brings me comfort, as it does probably most of you. So Queen of Crazy, I love it. Only 3 last night. Oh my gosh. I was thinking about you the other night, Nurse. So you know that I got like that cold that turned into like a whole bronchial yucky thing. Anyways, I had taken cold medicine for a few days because I just needed to be able to sleep and not cough. And so I kind of like jankied up my sleep schedule a little bit. And so, oh gosh, that scared me. That was awesome. Thank you, Sweet Briar. That was fun. We reached our life goal. Yay. So it was like, I don't know, I had fallen asleep, but then I woke up at like, I don't know, like 2:50 or something. And I was just like awake. So I turned on the TV. I was watching like Law and Order or something. And I was watching Star Trek, trying to fall back asleep. And I was like, I bet you Nurse is awake right now. I bet you she's just working away. Just here I am in the middle of the night trying to sleep and waking up and being like, oh my gosh, it's the middle of the night. And I was like, oh my gosh, Nurse is probably still up. Her and Hustle are probably up, like still working in Arizona or something. Yes, I was. Yep. How many items do you list per day? Do you have a listing goal? I do. So this last week's been weird. Like I said, I got sick, so that always puts a wrench in things. But my rule of thumb is I do not go to bed unless I have listed and cross-listed one item. Now, there was 2 days this weekend where I literally was so in bed with the fever that there was no listing. I had no pictures of anything, and there was no getting out of bed. Husband was like, you lay down and you go night-nights and you're not working. And so, but other than that, rule of thumb is 1. Now, I don't want to just get one up though. So I tend to find, I would love to be the person that could get 30 up a day and get those cross-listed. That's really like my goal. But my brain just, I don't know. I'm a very scattered person. And so I have a hard time just hyper-focusing unless I'm like in the hyper-focus. So I would say on average, I probably get anywhere between 15 to 22 is really about where I land right now. Now, a month ago, it was only like, I could only get like 10 up a day and get them cross-listed because I'm just getting faster at it. So I think like I would love for my goal going into this new year to be able to like get 25 up consistently and get them cross-listed and then work towards that 30 a day goal. Because I have a couple friends that are resellers that do 30 a day and I know exactly how much money they're making. And so I really want to be there because I know if they're listing 30 a day, the law of 20% of averages says that at least 6 of those items are going to sell pretty quickly. So that means that they're going to be selling at least 6 plus probably, 3 maybe of their new items and maybe like 10 of old items once your items start stacking up and you have enough. So if I could be selling like 15 items a day, that would put me where I want to be, I think financially, where I was like, okay, now I feel like I'm making what I was making before, when I had my other career. And so if I could do that, that would make me pretty happy. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's ever evolving and it's ever changing for sure. I'm also the kind of person, I like to set myself long-term goals, but I also like to do realistic goals as well. And what I mean by that is, if I say to myself, I want to get 30 up right now, I want to get 30 up right now, and I constantly don't hit that, what I'm doing is I'm just reaffirming negative habits and not being able to actually reach those goals on a regular basis. And then you start to feel down on yourself, and then all the negative wizard and the spiral happens in your head, and you start going down the bad road. And so I want to make sure that I have long-term goals, but I want to make sure I'm also realistic with them. And that just makes me feel good, because I'd rather get to the end of the day and be like, good job, Charity. You got 17 items up and cross-listed today. You did it. I'd rather do that than be like, yeah, but it wasn't 30. I think it's easy to compare ourselves to other people. And I know I did that really, really badly at the beginning, because I am a perfectionist and I like to win, and I like to be, I like to be running the race and be in the mix. But I just found that I was just constantly hard on myself all the time. And so I've started kind of realizing and remembering that, with the compound effect, which is my favorite book, it's, everyone knows that, and really putting the penny a day in a jar and reaching those little milestones, because those little milestones are what helps to add up to be a bigger milestone, because you're just doing those repetitive things and getting faster and faster at it. So that was the really long version of that. So that's the answer. Queen, good. I'm glad that worked out. Hey, Mel's J, good to see you. All right, our next item here. This one cracks me up, and I wish it didn't have flaws on it, because it would just be so perfect. So it's got a 42 on the front, and it says Clinton Presidential Center, because he's the 42nd president. And then on the back, it says, I miss Bill. So that's funny. It's a great shirt, and it's a great time to be putting this shirt up. Unfortunately, it does have some ink stains on it. Pretty bad. I mean, it's got a lot. And it doesn't have a size tag. It's definitely been through it. But I think because so these shirts right now are called parody shirts that funny haha shirts, that if you look up parody, if you go to Depop and you look up parody shirts, you'll know what I mean. Parody is in Parody. And so I think because it's funny and a parody, I think it'll still sell on Depop. I definitely can't get as much as I would like to get out of it, but it's a funny one nonetheless. So, like I said, I think it'll sell. It's just not going to be for as much as I wish it could sell for. But at the end of the day, I got it for 50 cents at a garage sale. So I'm happy with it either way. Now, I know that there is stuff out on the market that's supposed to take ink out. And if someone wants to buy this shirt, and then they want to go through all the time and the energy to make that happen, they are more than welcome to. I am not going to try to scrub, things off. That's just not something that I'm going to be doing. So I don't mind scrubbing a little bit and cleaning a little bit, but anyway. So yeah, unfortunately, like I said, it's got some flaws, but it is so funny. It's got man, it's definitely lived a life here. I gotta spray a little back there. It has lived a life. Chances are it probably ended up at the bottom of a book bag or something with a pen, is what it looks like to me. So it is what it is, right? That's okay. Someone will buy it, and I know I'll make more than my 50 cents back. So I'm just kind of cleaning off. There's just a couple little gooberies back here. Just a nice little light mist of a little bit of a water bottle. And there we go. And then we're just going to do a little lint roll action here. And we'll get to the photos. I think that's so funny. It's a good time to be selling politically stuff. So if you guys have any political stuff, I would definitely advise getting that up as soon as you can. All right. And it's got a little, I got it a little wet there, so I always keep a little blow dryer here just to blow dry. Nice little gadget there. And I just keep all my little blow dryer things. I got a, on the Swale store, I bought like a thing that just hooks on the wall that's supposed to just be like for like your curling irons and stuff like that. And mine holds like all my little cleaning brushes, like my heat gun and my like shoe cleaner and all that. All right, let's get a picture of this here. And make sure, I really want to make sure people understand that this has like, you know, it's got some spots on it, but it's funny nonetheless. So, hey Susie Q, thanks for the gift. Tila Sailing to Tila Solanas. Woo. Good to see you. And QSKE Nani, good to see you. Mom's buying more. I love it. All right, and like I said, the size tags is gone on this too, so that's okay. We will. It's a men's large. I can tell by the size. It's literally the size I wear. All right, folding this sucker up. And man, if this didn't have all these flaws, probably could have got, just judging by my other political t-shirts, probably could have gotten like probably $40 for it maybe. But with all this stuff, I mean, if I get like $13 for it, I'll probably be happy. Thanks for the info and the inspo. You got it. How much will you list it with? So what I'll probably do, Annie, is, so I always list my stuff just a tiny bit higher than what I know I want to get because I'm going to do offers, and I also do 10 or 15% off sales on Depop. So, which is where I know that this will sell. So I'll probably list it as at 20. I would be happy getting like 12 for it. I think that's a fair price for a shirt that you're just never going to see anywhere else ever. There's just too many stains for it, and with it missing its size tag, because the size tag probably said made in the USA. So just with it missing that, it's like, meh. I mean, I don't need to get too much for it. So I'll just put it that way. All right, so we've got a chest of 21. We've got a length of 29.5. Yeah, and I didn't see all that when I picked it up at the garage sale. I may have left it behind had I seen all of that, just because I'm not going to make enough off of it, probably even for the time, but that's okay. I bought it, and I'm moving on. Cutthroat Duo. Yarg. Sorry, I had to do it. Yo ho, cutthroat Duo for me. We already have restriction, so it is what it is. All right. Moving on. Next one we got here. So this is a 2012 World Series poker shirt. It even has the actual authentic beefy tag, the beefy World Series poker tag. It is a size, it looks like a 2XL to me. Yep, it's a 2X, and it is in okay condition. A little fading here and there. The graphics definitely have seen better days, but this will probably be another Depop sale. Like, everyone over there really likes stuff that has like dates on it, because that's such a popular thing right now, is to be able to show off the date of whatever the item was. So my guess is that this will probably sell on Depop. This will probably sell for like, I don't know, I'll probably ask like 25 or 26 for it, but I'll probably, oh, that might up it. It actually has the old Rio Las Vegas on there. So I actually might ask a little bit more. I'll have to see how many other ones are for sale. This is just a really good size, because it's not necessarily someone that is a 2X that's going to be buying this. It's just this loose, baggy, insanely over baggy look is so popular right now with all of the kids, I feel so old saying that, but it's true. So the whole like 90s kind of aesthetic, that really baggy 90s look is like so big right now that a kid that probably fits a medium will get this as a 2XL because he can just wear it as like a oversized large shirt. So when you guys do these shirts, whenever you're doing 2Xs, 3X, anything like that, yeah, BP tag, you got it, baby. Whenever you're doing the 2Xs, make sure you do loose and baggy in your description. If you can fit it. Oh, someone's joining in. I don't know how to make that stop. There we go. I probably actually accidentally invited you in. I've done that so many times. So whenever you're doing these, make sure you do loose and baggy in the description. I also try to get loose or baggy up in the title. So for this, it would say 2012? 2012 World Series Poker, Rio, Las Vegas, black men's t-shirt, 2X, and then I would put loose, baggy up in there too, because you want those to be up there. It's not technically Y2K, but you could probably get away with a post Y2K down in the description, like POST-Y2K or POST-Y2K, all as one word, because then you're not technically saying it's Y2K, you're saying it's post Y2K, but the SEO will still trigger and find that Y2K word in there. Wink, wink. That's a little something between me and you. Just a little bit of a trick that might help you out there. All right. Oh my goodness. Hi. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Okay. All right, everyone. Jack has to say hello. You know he has to come in to say hi. Say hello, everybody. Hi, sweet boy. Hi. I'm very happy to see you. Oh my goodness. And you? And the lady? Oh, we get double treats today. Hi, baby. How's my lady? Say hello to everybody. Oh, she just lays on my arm. She's like, okay, time to hang out. Yes, we do need Jack stickers and little meatball. Oh, hi, sweetie. Okay, guys, Mama's got a lint roll now. Now Mama's got a lint roll. We don't want any pup hairs on here. Oh, I know. Squeaky, squeaky. What are you squeaking about? Didn't you already have lunch? What are you squeaking about? You got Piggy? Is that Piggy, Mama? All right. Oh, yeah, he's trying to fool me. He's in here squeaking. You got Piggy. I know you want to play fetch. We'll do that in just a little bit, bud. He's like, it is afternoon. This is the time that we play fetch. What are you even doing with your life? And why are you not hanging out with me? All right, get this in there. And then let's get our chest and shoulders. You can also do on something like this that's got that loose and baggy. So if you think about the era that we are trying to tailor to right now, really the 90s is probably, I would say, 90s and early Y2K are probably kind of the hottest eras right now. And so what I would suggest doing if I were you, and I'm not you, but if I were you, I would also suggest down in your description putting 90s nostalgia. So that's all one word, right? 90s nostalgia, because we can't technically say this is 90s because it's not 90s, right? It's a 2012. My screen looks delayed to me for some reason. Does it look delayed to you? Anyway, so you can't technically say this is 90s, but you can put 90s nostalgia as one word, right? The SEOs can pull 90s out of that. So if someone types in baggy 1990s shirt, they aren't necessarily looking for a shirt that's from the 90s. They're looking for a shirt that looks like it was from the 90s. So that's going to be loose, baggy, flowy, airy, grunge, that whole kind of look. And so by putting that in there, you're not technically saying it's 90s, but you're going to get the word in there. Do you know what I mean? Wink, wink. Gracious, I know. I was hoping for a burp. I didn't get a burp. Sir and Lady Squeaks a lot. That is them. I know they saw me. They came in just for you. Hey, Groovy Grabs. All right, let's get the pictures of the back of this one here. Oh, I want to get the graphics on this too because they are just a little bit cracked here. All right, that'll lend to the grunge aesthetic. And then this definitely has a little bit of fading here and there. A lot of these older black t-shirts have that kind of faded look. But yeah, I can't believe I'm still pulling these off. I keep thinking it's going to be the last one. Oh, I think that was the last one. We finally got the last one. Man, it feels like I've been pulling off the last one forever on those. Okay, let's get a new thing here. All right. So these are super easy to load, which is why I like them. You just tear off this outside part here, and then it literally just slides right on. And boom, and boom. This gets all the little hairs off, guys. Do you guys know anything about that? No, they wouldn't know anything about that, Daddy. They would never have little hairs all over the house. That would be crazy. All right. I can always tell when it's like someone had like a husky or like a Malamute or anything like that. The hair on those breeds, it's so soft and fluffy, but it definitely like weaves. Does anyone have a husky in here? That stuff weaves its way in. It's like the most unique hair. It's like it goes like through the little weaves and wefts. It's pretty interesting how it does that. All right. And then sometimes on shirts like this, I'll kind of just take a little bit of a damp cloth and do it like that. That's going to tell me if that is actual fading or if it's just because it's been sitting in storage and it's like, you know, dusty or whatever. That definitely has a little bit of fading on there. And that's what that is. So we'll get that in the photo, make sure people see that. And again, on Depop, they just literally don't care. It is the most interesting thing over there, which is great. I mean, I was talking to my son about it because he's closer to that age group. And he said, you know what it is, Mom? It's that we just know the clothes are better quality from back then. So even if it has like any holes or something in it, it's going to last way longer. And then he also said, it's just so hard to find that stuff anyways. So we're not expecting it to be perfect. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Flippin', you have a husky. So you know, Selby says, I feel so honored. I know, there's squeaks for you. Vanessa's here. Kitschy. Would that be for hashtags in the description? Yeah, and you don't even need to hashtag it, Annie, at all. So if you look at any of my descriptions, like over on eBay or anything, you'll notice like in the descriptions at the bottom, I don't even have hashtags. You don't necessarily have to have hashtags. SEOs are able to find stuff now and sort and separate it a lot easier than it used to be. It used to have hashtags on everything in order for search engines to find it properly, but that's evolved so much now that it doesn't necessarily even need to have those, doesn't need to be hashtagged necessarily. But if you go into any of my listings on any of the different platforms and you'll see kind of how it looks on different platforms. I'm happy to see you. I live with lit rollers everywhere, says Flippin'. So you know, it's got to be something about that husky hair. Like I said, I can always tell when someone's had a husky because it just weaves itself in a way that's like, it's like a little needle. And so when I do the lit roller on it, it has a hard time getting it. So I almost have to like go up and down. And then I found I have to kind of go sideways a little bit on it too. And I'm sure you have, you know, you live with that situation. So, because these guys, I mean, their hair is so tiny that it doesn't really, like if their hair is on stuff, it just comes off like so easily because it's just tiny little white fluffy hairs. Those always come off really easily. But the bigger dogs with that kind of like pointier hair, definitely I have a little bit of a harder time getting that off. So something else I learned recently. So I'll show you guys this in a second. Let me get this tag out. So I had noticed on some of my Y2K clothing that some of it, and most of you probably already know this, but for those of you that didn't know this, like I didn't know this, I would see on some of the shirts, it would just say 2X. It wouldn't say 2XL. And I was like, is that different? Like, because XL stands for extra large. But I'm like, I wonder if on some things XL means extra long. And I'm like, no, because then that would be in the big and tall category. So I just looked it up. And yes, so 2X is an older way of writing 2XL. So if you come across shirts that have that where it just says 2X I guess it's just an older way of doing the XL. They stopped, like, obviously now you don't ever see that anywhere. But in, I guess, whatever era some of the shirts were from, they had that on there. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, it's always nice to learn like new little, caveats and stuff like that. So, hey, Paige, welcome in. I'm happy to see you. You and your little smiling kid on there. Adorable. All right, we're going to take a picture of this and then we'll get this in our book. Gosh, I am so thankful to Thrifty. I think I would have probably still been doing t-shirts and not writing down the numbers. So crazy. I can't believe I did that for the first couple. That's so wild. But, it's been a couple days since I photographed clothing. So just goes to show you how easily it is to like get out of the routine of doing something. All right. So we got, what is our size on that? So the chest is 25. Our length is 28.5. And our shoulders are 24 on that. Moving right along. All right, so this is one I'm going to have to do a little research on because I think this is a really old jersey. So it's Ohio State, number 28. It doesn't have a name on it, but the tag that's on here is really old. So that is a very, very old jersey tag. It says Spanjan, San Marcos, California, USA. There isn't anything else on here, if I remember correctly, but it feels like it's really thick. So it doesn't feel like any jersey I have ever felt. I had a vintage hockey jersey I sold, a vintage Stars hockey jersey I sold, and it has that kind of weight to it. Yeah, Vanessa, this is like, it's pretty old. Like this is all patched and then sewn on. Same thing on the back here. It's in really pretty good condition for the age of this. There's a little bit of like the color has like leaked a little bit with the red like here and there, but like, I mean, look at that tag, you guys. That is like wickedly beefy fabric. Coley on the nose. Like, I hear you accidentally slept in, my whole day's off. Yeah, when that happens to me, it's always so tough. I never thought about XXL versus 2XL. So those are also like different eras. We'll write the 2XL or the XXL, which is interesting, or different places it's manufactured. There was an article. If you guys Google, I'm trying to remember how I found it. I probably typed in something like, what's the difference between 2X and 2XL? And then I went just down a little bit of a rabbit hole reading about tags and stuff like that, because it's something I'm interested in. And it was some of the stuff I came across was really fascinating. I don't remember all of it right now, but it was pretty cool. So El Senor, what is going on? Okay, so let's get a picture of this. Should we Google Lens this and just see if anything pops up with this? Let's do that. Let's do that while we're on here, because I am super curious. I haven't comped this. I haven't done anything with any of this stuff. So I am not really much of a comper. I just kind of go with my gut these days on stuff. Let's see. We're gonna find anything. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find anything. So it looks like it's probably the Ohio State Buckeyes is maybe what it looks like. You know what I'll do? Let me take a picture of this. Let me Google search this tag and see if I get anything. So let's see if we get anything on this tag, because this is like really old. So looks like the other ones I'm seeing is definitely 80s. So it's called Spanjan. 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 So I'm definitely seeing 80s everywhere. So I think what I should do is probably look up to see if I can figure out who the player was. So Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, let's just try it. We may get lucky. Ohio State Buckeyes, number 28 in the 1980s. Just see if we get anybody. It says Beanie Wells wore 28 for Ohio State Buckeyes during his career. Let's see. Bob Murphy in 1958. So does this tell all of the... It's so hard with sports stuff, guys, because I just don't know sports stuff very well. Like, I'm not, I'm not a super sports person. So I don't know. Do you guys know? Let's see. Vanessa says I grew up in Ohio. Where do you buy your stuff? Robin, I do garage sales and yard sales, rummage sales, church sales. I don't do thrift stores really ever. I think I've only been to, well, in the last year, I can now officially say I've only been to the thrift store 5 times. I went to Goodwill at the beginning of last October. I went to Goodwill once. And then I've been to our little local thrift store 5 times over the last year. Actually, probably 4 now because it's been over a year. And I just head back to like the shoe area usually to see what they have. But I'm a garage sale girl, so I usually go out every Saturday. This last Saturday is the first one I missed in, I don't even know, years. And yeah, I usually get at least a couple hundred things every weekend there. So any tag with Pasadena on it is pre-1971. Pasadena, where do I find that? Because this one says San Marcos. There isn't any other tags. God, I mean, it almost feels older than the 80s to me, which is really interesting. Do you just not go out on Fridays? Here, I don't, Tenacious. So it's really interesting. I will, if there's a community sale that starts on a Friday, I will go. But I haven't found that many people do garage sales in my area on Fridays. It is definitely a Saturday adventure. I'm down in Texas, and football down here is like a really huge situation. And so a lot of people are doing, Friday is football day, and so is Sunday. Well, Saturday is too for college and stuff. But it's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't seem to find many that are happening on Fridays here. So I kind of just do like the full meal deal thing on Saturday. Then it's post 1971. For if it says the San Marcos thing, it is, or yeah, I love garage sales too. That's when they moved the plant to San Marcos. Okay, wait. So it's after 1971 if it says it's in San Marcos. Okay, so I'm writing this down. So it's post 1971. You said gracious. Okay, so it's post 1971. So it's sometime after that. So Beanie Wells looks like the person that keeps coming up. I don't know who that is. Is that someone now that's Oh yeah, 2018. Okay, so that's a newer person. So yeah, I don't know what I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research on it and figure it out, because it's either, with this kind of stuff, I always get a little worried that I'm gonna accidentally sell something for way too inexpensive. So I don't mind spending a little time, while I'm doing lunch or something, and try to like do a little research. A lot of times I'll put Justin on this stuff because he can figure it out. I mean, he watches sports, like he's probably literally watching a baseball game right now. So he could probably figure it out. Sorry. Oh, 2000 Jonathan Wells. This one says, let's see. It just says Beanie Wells. So, but I don't know if that's who it is. Oh, Christopher Beanie Wells. But that says 2018. Oh no, but it says that the thing came out in 2018. Okay, it might be this guy then. Today's featured players are Jonathan Wells. Okay, yeah. So that is not that's not now. I don't know. Yeah, that's gonna have to be like a 2006, 2008. You think that's 2006 or 2008? I don't think it can be. It feels too old. I have a list of all the players who wore number 28. Oh, you do? Okay. Gracious. If you want to send it to me, and then I can maybe cross-reference it. That does not feel like it can be in the 2000s. Oh, that's when Beanie Wells played. Okay, yeah, so it's not him. That is 100% like 80s. It doesn't even feel 90s to me. Like, it feels too beefy. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to get a picture of this, and then I'm going to have to if you guys find anything, I never snooze on Anybody else going down the rabbit hole? I mean, it just feels like really good quality. Like it's pretty crazy good condition. So hopefully it'll be somebody that played that was like a big deal, or you know, maybe it was their old jersey. I've heard of resellers that have sold jerseys back to their people that when they went to college, they got rid of their jerseys, or somehow the jersey got rid of and they've bought it back. I have not been that lucky, but you know, you never know when situations are going to happen. So, all right, I'm gonna get a really good picture of that label too. So thanks for finding out that was post 71. That at least helps me, because if I had to peg a year on this just by the feel, now I'm going literally off feel. I am not going off any known information. This is literally just me guessing. It feels like 1982. And I'm not just saying that because that's backwards 28. It feels like something like a 1982 to 84 or 5 at the most. I just can't imagine that's any newer than this, unless jerseys just kept having this kind of quality or like this kind of beefy feel to them, which is possible. But I think I'm just gonna have to figure out who wore this number and then go from there. So I sent that on Insta. Okay, perfect. Thank you, gracious. Yeah, thanks for the help, you guys. It's always hard when I come across something like this. It's like, I know it's a good thing, so I pick them up. I'm never snoozing on a jersey, you know, but I just, I'm not confident with it like I am with other stuff, if that makes any sense. So, all right, get a picture of this here, and then we will move right along. So 111169, I'm just going to put jersey. And then we don't even know what the size is because it doesn't say on it anywhere, which is also really interesting. That's what makes me feel like it's even like it's pretty old, because it doesn't have a size tag and it doesn't look like it had a size tag. So back then they didn't size. Oh no, just kidding. It's got a medium on it. It's got a medium. Just kidding. All right, and the chest on that is a 19. The length on that is 30 to 31.5, I would say, because it's kind of variated because of the way that it ruches at the sides. And then the shoulders are a 19. Yeah, that's definitely a medium. Yeah, interesting, huh? Super, super interesting. Tiffany, what is good? All right, next thing we've got here, we got 2 more items here, or 3 more items, guys. Okay, so this is a pair of Wranglers. I had never seen these before. So I got these at a garage sale. There was another pair there, but it had like this gigantic stain down the front. And I was just like, if they had been vintage Carhartts, I would have picked them up. But vintage Wranglers, yeah, take it or leave it with that big of a stain. So, honey, we got a mystery. I've got a mystery for you to solve, Scooby. I got a jersey that is like, I think it's from the 80s. It has to be after 1971. It's for Ohio State Buckeyes, I think is who it is, number 28. And we just got to figure out who the player was. And I'm not good with that. I was like, I'm going to have Justin do it because he's probably literally watching a baseball game right now, which is not football, but it's still in the same realm. They play with balls. There's touchdowns. There's bases. There's field goals.
There's bases.
There's end zones. End zones or end zones? Is it IN or END? End zone. Because it's the end. End zones.
Are there end zones?
There's end zones. There isn't end zones in baseball. There's bases in baseball. There's first, second, third base, shortstop, right field, left field, center field, catcher, pitcher, batters, coaches, mascots, fans, and $8 beers.
The $8 beers.
So here's the jersey if you want to inspect it. And if you can figure it out, that would be amazing. Because I tried to look stuff up and it's like, I literally feel like I'm reading like Swahili. So, honey, guess what? I believe in your power to find the information on the jersey. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Gracious says there's a list of all the players in my Insta. Ooh, Gracious. Honey, we might have a list of all the players in my Insta. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to send this out to you in a loving message from your wife and Gracious. Perfect. Cool. Thank you. All right. Moving right along. Amanda. All right. Let's get a picture of these. I have no idea what these are worth. Oh, I'm going to send that. Oh, Gracious, you sent 2 things. I'm going to send this other one too. I'm sending you another thing as well because you're amazing. I think it's something in the 80s. It has to be after 1971 because that's when they moved that Spain Jane plant out of wherever it was to San Marcos. So it's got to be something in there. So that's all I know. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm curious on these ones, what these are called, because I don't even know what these are called. Let's find out, you guys. So these are Wrangler. They're like, they have like a reflective thing. Rugged wear, double knee. They might be worth something. All right. Someone's got a pair for 25 on eBay, but the first word I see is distressed. Guys, don't put, whatever you do, stop putting distressed as the first word that you see on listings. People will automatically, people that would normally be like, if they're looking for distressed, then they'd be excited. But most people are not going to look just for that word, right? They're looking for the brand, they're looking for the color, looking for the size, and then they're looking, what is the condition of it? When you put distressed first, it automatically makes it look like you're apologizing for the item. So like if I was going to like describe this water bottle, I wouldn't be like 3/4 full water bottle, right? Because then you're saying a quarter's missing. I'm like fresh, sparkling water. Like I'm going to talk about the item. And then at the end, I could say 3/4 full. You figured out?
No idea. There's so many people that wore the number 28.
Okay. We'll just have to look over the list. Oh, there was that many. There's no like discerning person. Okay. All right. Well, you never know. Sometimes you come across a jersey where it's like some, person that then went on to play like some crazy good career or something. I love investigating. Gracious me and you too. I have to stop myself, man. I will go down their Reddit hole every day. Canvas hunting, bush pants. All right. Canvas hunting. I'm writing this wrong. Canvas hunting, bush pants. Yeah, so when you guys put distressed as the first word, it looks like you're apologizing for something. So don't put that there. All right. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But if I were you, and I'm not you, but if I were you, I would not do that. All right, let's get a picture of these here. These are in pretty good condition. I don't know that it's going to be a super ideal size. Whenever you're looking for pants, your goal is to find the length longer than the waist. So if you're looking at a pair of jeans and you got a pair that's like 34 30s and you got a pair that's like 34 36s, you want to pick up those 34 36s all day. Those are going to sell so much more than the other size, just because stereotypically the size of like the height of dudes. So not everyone. I mean, my husband is 6'1", right, baby? He's laughing. The standing joke in our house because I'm taller than him. So if you find a pair of pants that's like 30, 32, that's good. But if you can find like 34, 36s, or you can find like 34, 34s even, or you can find 36, 40s, like that's what you want to look for. Brush briar pants. Are these for like hunting or something? Is that what they're for? They must be for hunting. Ruth is laughing. I had someone offer to buy the affliction tree you sold me for $200 last night. Dude, sell it to him. Mike. There you go. That's money, baby. Heck yeah. I'd sell that. Someone offers me $200. Sold. You want to buy the shirt off my back? You got it. So these are probably going to be like 30, what are these? 30, 28s. So not a super ideal size. However, they have a utility function, so I know that they'll sell. Does that make sense? Like if I know something has like an actual function to it, I'm less worried about the size. Like these pants are obviously for a very specific reason. Oh, there is a little hole in the booty there. That's going to knock $5 off, but that's okay. Somebody can sew that up. You know who's not going to sew that up? Me. I am not sewing that up. So I'm just going to show it, and then they can make the choice if they want to get it or not. Our job is to find a need and fill it, locate a problem, and solve it. We solve it by passing it on to somebody else, and they can deal with it. Sold. Heck yeah, dude. Look at that, Mike. You flipped it. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah, of course you sold it. If you hadn't sold it, I would be like, Mike, go back and find that person. I mean, that's money. Like, does he know that he could go online and get one for not that price? Hey, price is what you pay, value is what you get. I love it, dude. Mike, that makes me very, very happy. All right, what size are these yet? So these originally started as a 32-30, which they're not anymore. Obviously, they've shrunk quite a bit. And they're Wranglers, so they're most likely are not going to have a date stamp on them. They usually don't. So, but something like this, I'm not as worried about the date because it's more about the utility function of these. Okay, so these are the Wranglers, and they were a 32-30. And then let's take a look here. And then they also have, guys, don't snooze on when you see something that's got like a model number, because you can literally type that in and find the exact item, and then you know exactly how to title it. You want to know how to really title something? If you can use the title exactly how it's already somewhere on the internet, get that into your item description or your item title, and then you can put a couple other little things in there so it's not exactly, so that search engines aren't like, that's weird, it's the same thing. Put a couple of little things in there, but it just makes it easy if someone's trying to search that. Because what'll happen is, this is how people search, because this is how I search, is if I find something I like, then I'm going to take that exact thing, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it into eBay or wherever I'm going to paste it into, and I'm going to look for that item as that's written. So if you can get that in there, that exact title of how it is like on the Wrangler website, great. That is money in the bag right there. Sticker bushes and stuff. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That'd be good for anybody who works in the woods, like lumberjack, and they have to walk through. That's good. Okay, probably helps with like ticks and stuff like that too, I would imagine. I had to leave. Did you figure out? No, we didn't. So Coley Gracious sent me over a list of all the players that played in the 80s with that number. Justin just went through it. He said he didn't see anybody that really stood out and that there was a whole bunch of names. So I don't think it's any specific person's jersey. However, you know, I'm going to take every name that played in the 80s and I'm going to put it down in my description, probably just put like the last name or something, because if someone's looking for that specific person or specific thing, then they'll find it. Yeah, post 71 for sure. Yeah, but that's as far as we've gotten. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's definitely a rare boy. I mean, how often are you going to come across something like that? Okay, so we got a rise on those. Those are really high rise. So it's 11 on the rise. Our hips are going to be 35. Our length is 28. So those have shrunk up 2 inches. And then our waist is a 30. So that shrunk 2 by 2, which is pretty standard for Wranglers. So Vanessa the Kit. Vanessa, is that you? The Kitschy Mushroom? Oh, yeah, there it is. It comes in as Vanessa the Kit. I was like, what? I was like, did you change your name? That's funny. Vintage Toys, what is good? And Letty, hi. Okay, we've got our last item here. No, sorry, 2 more items. So this is our first one. Wait, didn't I take pictures of those? No. Oh, I got a banger for last, guys. All right, so this is a interesting one. This is a Dutch Brothers rain jacket. Like Dutch Brothers, the coffee, which is pretty interesting. I've never seen this. Vanessa, I'm happy to see you. I know, I was like, did you change your name? Okay, so let's get a picture of this here and then take a look at how it looks, because it's like a light cream color. Yeah, I think that looks pretty spot on. Yeah, so this is one of those kind of just weird random things I picked up at a sale. I mean, for 50 cents or $1. You can't go wrong with that. So really interesting. It's like a really super lightweight rain jacket. We're going to double check the pockets, especially after, oh my gosh, who was on yesterday? Who was on for the shipping video yesterday? Was anybody, you guys, were you here? So for those of you that weren't here, we had the funniest thing happen. I went to package up this bag. It was a gym bag. And I went to package it up and I felt something in the front of it. Now, this is something I have had listed for a really long time. It's like a very, very early sourcing thing, like last year. And so it's been in my inventory. It's been in my inventory so long, I didn't even have measurements on the bag. It was actually sitting in here because I was going to measure it and then I wound up selling, of course. Just if you want an item to sell in your inventory, just go touch it and then it'll sell. So anyways, I'm wrapping it up and I'm like, whoa, there's something hard in there. What is that? And I freaking, yes, tenacious. I pulled out a used Adidas deodorant. Can you even imagine if I had shipped that to someone? The review. Wow, vintage gym bag in great condition, had an old deodorant in it. And the deodorant had expired like almost a year ago right now. And you guys know deodorant lasts for a while. So it had been in there for I don't even know how long. So ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. Coley, excuse me. Did you put deodorant in my bag? I've been like, oh, that's just a bonus. I'm handing you deodorant out to all my customers this week. Oh, the touching thing is so true. I've had that happen many times. Yeah. Bonus vintage deodorant, right? Oh, we're just I hand out a vintage deodorant, a sticker, and a thank you card to every customer. Thank you so much for coming to the NiceComps store. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh my goodness. All right. So I am triple, double, quadruple checking every pocket. And I do now. It's just I didn't back then I just didn't as much, obviously. All right, we're gonna get a picture of the back here. And then also I want to get a picture of the fact that this is Dutch Brothers, which is just pretty cool. I didn't even know Dutch Brothers Coffee did that. And then it also has a string back here. Is this to like, what is this for? I never know what all these little gadgets are for. What is that? Oh, it's to like make the hood. Oh, crazy. So it makes the hood small so that it can just like probably roll up or something. I don't know. That's neat. I love little things that do that because that just all these little things just add to the utility and function of an item. So that's cool. All right. I'm going to put that back down. And then I got to get a picture of the inside of this too. Let's see. This is hook and loop. This doesn't even look like it was ever used. I don't think this jacket was ever used. No. Yeah, this has never been used. I mean, I'm still going to mark it as used because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want someone to tell me that it's not new. But this is like 100% not been used. It is literally in pristine condition. Like that zipper's never been unzipped before. It has now, but hadn't up until that point. Yeah, what a cool little jacket. Huh. Interesting. Is there anything else in here? Is there any other tags in here? Nope. All right. Moving right along. Someone can come make dinner. I don't want to either, Green Thrifty. Justin's gonna make it. Because I don't go in that room. Except to make bread. Guys, I am so dangerous in the kitchen. It's like a situation. He walked in yesterday and he's like, hey, honey. And I'm like, yep. And he's like, why is it all wet in here? Like the kitchen floor. I was like, so I had a situation. I had this little like syringe thing that was filling up with a little solution and I was putting it in the carpet where the dogs had pedaled once because I was trying to get rid of the smell. And then I went in to wash out the syringe, but I didn't want to get myself with a needle. So then I filled up a bowl and then I was like rinsing it out on the counter. And then I knocked the bowl over so it came onto the ground. But then I was putting the needle away and then I forgot that I had spilled the water on the ground. So the water had just been sitting there for the last 2 hours. He's like, okay. He's like, yeah, I always know you've been in the kitchen when there's just, a random knife sticking somewhere, or there's like a puddle, or something is melted. I'm like, yep. Because that is what happens when you have a brain like me. It just kind of wanders from time to activity to activity. and it's a dangerous place. My son always says, you don't give yourself enough credit, Mom. You're a good cook. And it's like, yeah, I know that I can like cook well. It's the injuries and the like the trips to the emergency situation that ends up being a problem. I've literally cut off the tip of multiple of my fingers. I broke almost every finger in my hand. I dislocated my knee like 45 times. I broke my back. I broke my ankle. Let's see what else. My left arm. Like, I have a situations. Broke my thumbs. I was a catcher. I did play softball when I was younger, and like I had no fear for the ball, so they put me as catcher because I would just stand in front of it, and I literally busted my fingers so bad. I've got like my fingers are like wonky. Like I don't know if you can see it here, but like this one points, this pinky points like the wrong way. This one has like this weird space in it. Let's see, what is it? Oh yeah, this one healed like kind of crooked sideways on the side. I mean, what are you gonna do? I was having fun playing baseball. Oh man, haven't had someone cook me dinner in so long. I'd be happy with a sandwich. Oh, no doubt. I don't have a Justin. Can I rent one? Absolutely. You got to deal with the smells and the farts that go along with it, though. Sorry if I requested to join. I'm on a curvy road and hand hit it. Oh no, Aaron, I don't think you did. That's okay. I brought someone in earlier, so I was like, oh yeah, come on in live. I mean, I was accidentally pushing buttons. Okay. And that is our Dutch Brothers. Have you guys ever seen a Dutch Brothers hoodie before? That's so random. Like it even has like the Dutch Brothers logo, like is that for its label and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. That's neat. Something kind of, it's either really unusual or there's like 500 of them for sale. So you just never know what it's going to be. All right. It looks like our sleeves are 26.5, baby. And our length looks like 29 in the front and 32 in the back. And then our shoulders are 19.5. And, oh, did I not do the chest? I didn't do the chest, did I? Gotta do the chest, guys. Can't not have the chest. I have sold a Dutch Brothers t-shirt. I haven't sold one of those either, but I've seen them. I've seen them for sale. In another life, I cook for a living. I've definitely cut the tip of my finger off. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I did that. Our apartment that we had moved into years ago, we had gotten a set of knives I think we got it at Costco. And Justin was literally like, honey, I'm really nervous. You using these knives. Be really careful. And I was like, I'm careful. I'm fine. And he's like, okay. One cut. I think I was cutting an apple. One cut. And I literally sliced the whole top of my thumb off. And I just was like, and he comes in, he's like, how bad? And I was like, real bad. And so I lived with a thumb cast on for, oh my gosh, I had that thing on for like 4 weeks or something because it had to heal back. And the doctor said that there was no way that it was going to heal back. He said that because they couldn't put stitches in it because it's just where the location was. He's like, 2 things happen. He's like, either the thumb, it doesn't work and then you have to have that removed, or it'll heal itself back. So I was just crazy careful with it. And I've always had like really good luck with healing. You know, I may injure easily, but I definitely heal easily as well. So I was really lucky with that one. And then we had our incident here about, about 4 months ago, right here. That weird little nub guy now. I was grating cheese and took off the whole top of my knuckle. So I had to live with a little cast on my thumb. That was fun working. I had to live with a cast on my thumb for, I think, 4 weeks on that one. And it was right after I had burnt the whole top of this hand off with my steamer. You guys probably have seen that video. That's on TT somewhere. So yeah, it's a thing. I definitely have done some stuff. So it's just entertaining. You know, I watch your lives as much as possible and I don't sell clothing. Oh my gosh, Thrifty, are you kidding me? That's awesome. That actually makes me feel really good. It's just entertaining. It's true. Yeah. Ouch. Ouch was right. The cheese grater thing was hard because I couldn't bend this thumb. So it was like working and trying to do stuff with that thumb thing was like, oh, Crimson Creation has come to hang out with us today. Can we all say hello to Crimson Creation? Hello, Crimson Creation. They probably came in and then left and were like, I don't even know what just happened. All right, so what do we get on the chest on that one? It's a mere 24 on the chest, 48 around, as they say. All right, last thing we got here, this is a pretty nice banger. It's a pair of vintage Carhartt overalls in insanity condition. So look at this hook. I've seen these on the internet. I had never come across one of these before. Watch this. It is this crazy metal, old school. Oh, we just sold something on Mercari. Old school. Look at that. That is seriously old. How crazy. Look at that. I'll show you one more time. It's so wild. I like I said, I'd seen these online, but I had never seen one in person. So pick these up for $2, I think. I think I paid $2 for these. So, and they are in just ridiculous condition. So what I'm going to do on these, which is what I usually do for most overalls, is I just kind of hang them up here. I get a long picture, but then my first picture I do like a half overall, and I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, these are in like insanely good condition. I don't even know where these have been, that they have been taken this good of care of. I gotta move my light even for these. Gotta go back. Okay. And then what I do is I'll get my measurements, everything done, and then I just get a picture of the top. So we've got, so this is how I do my overalls. So bib to waist, waist to inseam, which is like basically your rise. Let's see if I can get these here. That opening is, and then I go back in here and do the rest of this. So hold those up. I'm gonna get a little creative with these ones, but I'll hold them up and then I just do like that. And then I go down here below my bars to get the bottom. Oh, my shutter closed. Okay. So that gets all that. And then I'm going to do waist area right along the waist. And I try to just get as many pictures of overalls as I can, because it's so hard for people to know if an overall is going to fit them. I know it is for me, and I'm someone that loves overalls. And these have like a super wide angle on the ankle too. And then one tiny little spot. So I figure I'd kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Get this bottom and then also show this tiny little thing here. I can't tell what it is. It looks like just a little, like, either a pen mark or a melt spot or something. All right. And then the picture I always use for my opening photo is like a half overall. And I'll show you guys when I get done with this what it looks like. Okay, and then we're going to do back. And I just try to kind of get these in sections too, if I can. Got one light spot there. I mean, to find, oh, and one little hole there, but to find a pair of vintage Carhartts in this condition is like unheard of, especially that old. So just get pictures of everything, and then people can decide if it's right for them or not right for them. So then I'll show you guys all the photos on here. Took me a while to figure out how to photograph overalls correctly, where I felt like it looked correct and good. If I remember correctly, yeah, the size tag on this is like completely faded. So there is no information on here that I can see. Yeah. So what I do with these kind of things is, because I always put like original size tag faded, But what I'll do is still take a picture of the size tag just so they don't think that I'm just saying that to like hide something. It is like completely faded. Which is really common in these old Carhartts. To see it that faded is really typical. All right, I think I got everything there. Okay, I'm gonna roll these up, and then I'm gonna show you guys the pictures here on these. So this is kind of like what I did is I took like a compilation of how everyone did their overalls that I saw. So this is what I do. So the first picture that I put up is this one. So I just do kind of the top, which shows like, you know, that it's Carhartt. It shows the strap. So that'll be my opening photo. Then I'll do the rest of these. So it'll be, I got to crop this a little bit, but it'll be like the long version. And then I measure the bib, the inseam, the length, or I'm sorry, the rise and the inseam, and then waist, right? And I go right along the belt area there. And then the opening at the bottom. And then back main area, any flaws I see. And then bottoms. And then care tag. So that's how I do the overall. So the first picture that they're going to see is that front. And then I do long ways. Then I do all my measurements. Then I do the back top, back bottom, care tag. And I've been doing it that same way on all of my overalls lately. And all of my overalls have been selling. I think I only have one pair of overalls left up. Can't believe how much I see pit to pit. I know. And it's funny because once it's in your brain and you see the pit to pit and you realize that that's not what you should be saying, you should be saying chest or bust. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then you see it and it's like, you just want to tell every single person, like, it's not pit to pit. That is not a measurement. That is a fake measurement. That is not real. And it's kind of gross. So the only place you ever see that is on like super trendy, like skater bro sides to be like, yo, it's pit to pit. Like you see it on there, but they're doing it as like an irony thing. They're not necessarily, they're doing it to make it sound like cool and a little bit like crazy that they're saying that, but it's not, that's not real. So I know it is wild though. I see it all the time and I'm just like, oh gosh, save the world, save the cheerleader, save the world. Yeah, green clovers. What is green clovers? What does that mean? Green clovers. I don't know what that is. Jem, yo. Oh, I see Kaylee's here. This is why I have multiple pairs of overalls on my death pile. It is work to get them up, but they always sell really easily. Heroes. You got it, Coley. You got it, baby. That's one of my favorite shows. Okay, and then measurements. I'm just going to put C photos because I'm going to have to go through all of those. There's so many measurements on there. I think I fit them all on there. All right, you guys, that is everything for me today. I'm going to grab myself some lunch and I'm going to get this stuff listed and get it cross-listed. So that's going to be the rest of my day. I'll be back on tomorrow. So normally I ship on Wednesdays, but we just shipped yesterday because Monday was a holiday. So I won't be shipping again until Friday. Tomorrow is Thursday. I do have an out-of-town appointment tomorrow, so I'll probably be on kind of late tomorrow. I'll be doing a later in the day or early evening photo shoot, and depending where you are, I mean, maybe evening where you are right now. It's only 3:30 here. So yeah, you guys are welcome. I will see you guys tomorrow then. Have a beautiful night. Be productive. Don't be hard on yourselves. Everybody, pat on the back. Congratulate yourselves for your wins. And make it an amazing and awesome day. All right. Peace, everybody. And once again, thank you to everybody who joined us on the YouTubies. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, ideas, feel free to ask. And if you want to subscribe or like or share or do any of those amazing things, that'd be awesome. All right. Peace.